today, but he won't play Sunday against the Vikings for Coach Mike McDaniel.
That's exciting for everybody just because, really, we just miss his personality. When talking about this week and playing, I don't see him being active. I do not plan to have him play. This whole process is a little tricky, and today he's just getting back to playing football for the first time in 2 weeks.
With Tua and Teddy Bridgewater in concussion protocol, Miami will start rookie Skylar Thompson on Sunday against Minnesota. The Cowboys preparing for quarterback Cooper Rush to start again in place of the injured Dak Prescott in Sunday's big showdown against the Eagles.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Well, I just want to know if you picked up your NIL check from back in the day yet.
They would have, put it this way, Coach, they would have to sell a university.
More from KJ and Max Thursday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Ooh, by the way, it's a hump day. I promise it is. There it is. All right, let's hump everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Will Campbell back at practice.
Hump day.
Fired up. Happy that he's okay.
It's hump day.
Jameis Winston back in practice.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Some of y'all just rolled your eyes.
Hump day.
Man out there playing with a broken back, y'all.
It's hump day.
Put some respect on that man's name.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
A literal broke back.
Hump day.
I see you out there with no broke back.
It's hump day.
Peter Burns, 15 minutes.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Ben Baby next hour.
Hump day.
Joey B talked about returning to the Dome.
It's hump day.
Said everyone's going to be cheering against him.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Not so sure.
Hump day.
We'll see.
It's hump day.
Russ Mitchell, hour 3.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I think.
Hump day.
Used to we have confirmation on Russ Mitchell in hour 3?
It's hump day.
Not yet.
Okay.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Efforting.
Hump day.
All right, let's get going, y'all. Glad you're aboard with us here. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. Of course, every Wednesday is trivia night over at Pluckers, both locations, so get on by. All right, ton that we have to get to here today, and a lot of news today as you reach the halfway point of the week. Both LSU and the Saints kind of updating some very notable injuries. We'll get to the Saints injury report. As we mentioned there, Jameis was back at practice during the media viewing portion, so albeit a limited capacity, they're certainly going to start to build toward potentially playing this week, but we'll see. We'll know more as the week goes along. Brian Kelly started a Wednesday on the SEC Coaches Teleconference, as he does every Wednesday, and he had some fantastic news updating the status of LSU freshman offensive tackle Will Campbell.
Yeah, Will was released from the hospital. He has cleared all of the testing necessary for him to practice. He practiced yesterday. He will practice again today, and we expect him to play this Saturday.
That is awesome news, man, for a lot of reasons. Obviously, first and foremost, seeing Will Campbell post the picture on Friday from the hospital bed and learning after the game that he had an episode and EMS came out to the practice field. When you see that, it's sort of a sobering reminder of what's a game and what's real life. honestly. I mean, I'm not saying don't be passionate about your sports. Of course, we all are. I mean, I talk about sports for a living. So I'm not saying it's just a game. It doesn't matter. Of course, it all does. But this is a reminder of there are things in life that are bigger. So great news, first and foremost, let me say that Will Campbell is healthy, passed all the battery of tests, and was back at practice yesterday, Tuesday, and then is preparing to play against Florida, which is awesome. And they're going to need him against Florida. Now, the other big question is, with Garrett Dellinger out at left guard, what do you do there? I do want to point this out. LSU announced on Saturday that Cam Wire would be starting at left tackle. That's not what they did, actually, though. It was actually Bradford that started at tackle, and Xavier Hill, when Dellinger went down, went in at left guard. Now that Campbell is back, Brian Kelly, well, this was on Monday, by the way. This was on Monday when there was still a lot of uncertainty there about what you do at left tackle. Brian Kelly was asked if Bradford would play tackle, and he tipped his hand where they prefer to have Anthony Bradford.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to our sixth combination on the offensive line. You know, look, I can tell you right now as I stand here, we've got 4 guys that we know for sure, and then the rest we'll have to kind of figure out. We really like Bradford inside. We lose a lot, you know, in terms of his physicality, you know, when we move him out to tackle. So, you know, the ideal situation would be to get him back inside, but we're going to have to see, you know, how this thing plays out during the week.
So the ideal situation is for Bradford to go inside with it. Remember, so he played left tackle last week, and he played some left tackle last year as a freshman also. So with Campbell back at left tackle, you get your wish. You get to move Bradford back inside. Now the question is, do you play Bradford at right guard or left guard? Because keep in mind, the right side of your line has been Emory Jones at right tackle and then Anthony Bradford at right guard. So in theory, you would stick Bradford back at right guard where he was prior. You put him back to his position, so you have what you feel is your best offensive line down only Garrett Dellinger, because if you move Bradford over, now you're affecting 2 spots. I think you all understand that. So you go Campbell at left tackle, Charles Turner at center, Bradford at right guard, Emory Jones at right tackle. So 4 of your 5 slots are the same. The question is, what do you do at left guard? And we've seen LSU with a couple of different options at left guard. Of course, the opening game of the season, Miles Frazier started there when Garrett Dellinger was starting at center. On Saturday, when Dellinger went out, it was Xavier Hill that went in at left guard. And quite honestly, he didn't have a great day. So I don't know that they have a perfect option there. And it's certainly not going to be an option as good as Garrett Dellinger. Of course, when Dellinger broke his hand, they were without him for a chunk of the game 2 weeks ago against Auburn. So, you know, I don't know what they'll do. My feeling is you kind of tipped your hand last week when you went Xavier Hill because you weren't really excited about Miles Frazier there at left guard, but Xavier Hill didn't play great. So you kind of let those 2 guys battle it out this week in practice to see who ends up there. You know, you started the season with Miles Frazier there. It probably would make sense that he be your guy in that slot, but we'll all find out together. The thing I'll tell you about Florida, though, defensively, the more I start to peel back the layers of the onion with this game, Florida's defensive front is not great. They have good linebackers. Ventrell Miller is a veteran dude, and he's going to be an NFL linebacker. Cox is a great linebacker. Their defensive front, though, their defensive line, it hasn't been great this year. Florida is 13th in the SEC in run defense. That's 13 out of 14, by the way. That's second to last in run defense. They have given up yardage in the running game. Tennessee ran it for over 200 yards against them. Of course, Utah had success on the ground against Florida. Kentucky had success on the ground against Florida. You can run the ball against Florida. The challenge is LSU's not a good running team. The offensive line hasn't been good. Your best running back, Armani Goodwin, or your starting running back, your number 1 running back, Armani Goodwin, has been out. So you're trying to kind of piece it together a little bit with the backs that you have. So that's a situation where it's week on week, and something's got to give. Either Florida's run defense will hold, or LSU's going to be able to chew up some yardage on the ground, like they were able to do late again, in the second half against Auburn, where they were able to ice that game away. That's going to be the game within the game to watch. The other thing, though, is Florida, kind of like Tennessee, does get a little aggressive. Florida is middle of the pack in the league in sacks, but LSU's second to last in sacks allowed. So LSU, the offensive line, has been a problem. The inability to run the ball and the inability to protect your quarterback. So something there has to give. If you're LSU, you would love to be able to line up and run the football the way you were able to in the second half against Auburn, unlike you were able to do at all against Tennessee. How much progress can they make? Having Will Campbell back will clearly make a big difference for LSU Saturday in the Swamp. How much of a difference? We'll wait and see how it plays out. But that's a situation where you have an opportunity to exploit a weakness, which is Florida's run defense. If LSU's able to get it going on the ground, having Will Campbell back is a big plus there. All right, it is after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. As always, our Hump Day show is brought to you by Pluckers. AFR is brought to you by GMFS Mortgage, GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans, they do it all at GMFSmortgage.com. Again, you know where to find them, GMFSmortgage.com. Go to the website, find a local loan officer near you at GMFSmortgage.com. No matter where you are in the state of Louisiana, there's a GMFS Mortgage local loan officer near you. So go to the website, hit the loan officers tab, find that loan officer near you, and start that process. Stop paying every month to rent. Start building equity and building wealth by owning your own home. GMFS Mortgage can make it happen. GMFSmortgage.com, changing lives. All right, y'all, we missed Peter Burns of the SEC Network yesterday, so PB is going to jump aboard with us when we come back after this break. We'll go around the SEC. Taylor Calandro later this hour. Ben Baby from ESPN.com, who covers the Bengals, is with us at the top of hour 2. We'll get a thumbnail on the Cincinnati Bengals as they prepare 2 and 3. To come into New Orleans in the Dome on Sunday. So a ton to do, and glad to have you aboard with us here. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
We got Gordon. We got it done, and we always encourage you to do the same thing. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, getgordon.com, getgordon.com, or you can always go online. Go online to getgordon.com, or you can always give him a buzz at 888-8888, 888-8888. Told you so much about Gordon McKernan personally and his team over there at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. But one of the things that's been so apparent, look, you've seen the billboards, you've seen the TV commercials, you've heard the radio ads, you've heard the jingle, but so many of you have also seen how involved that Gordon has gotten in the NIL space. And the Get Gordon athletes and that roster continues to grow because of Gordon's intense love and care of his community. If it's the entire women's basketball team, of course, like point guard Alexis Morris, when you look at so many of the Tiger football players, if it's Emory Jones and Greg Brooks and Jaqueline Roy and Keyshawn Booty and John Emery, dozens and you know. So who's up next for the G team? Find out. But what you should do is get Gordon and get it done.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Shop, shop,
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shop a style.
Oh, yeah!
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and...
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Usually catch up with Peter Burns of the SEC Network on Tuesdays. Little lineup change. Going to have to join us right now. PB, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm hoping my voice makes it. I mean, we got an LSU Florida game I got to yell at the television about. Like, so it's like 50-50. I'm hosting Feinbaum tomorrow, and my voice is already shot. I mean, I'm fired the hell up for this weekend. And, oh, by the way, Tennessee and Alabama are going to play a decent game as well.
Okay, so two things. First, what's it going to be like at the SEC Network headquarters on Saturday with you and Doring watching this game together?
Well, so, I mean, for those who don't know, we've had that bet for the last, three seasons to where, the loser has to dress up like an absolute idiot. And first year, I want to say, 2019, we knew obviously LSU was going to be pretty damn good, so I felt good about that. He had dressed up as Mr. Peanut. 2020, not so much, but obviously LSU won. He had to dress up like Tiger King. And last year, I actually bought the German Oktoberfest outfit to fit myself because what were we, like a 60-point dog last year against Florida?
LSU was a bigger underdog 2020 in the fog than they were last year. But yes, I think it was I think it was 3-score dog.
It might have been 20. It might have been 2020, but it was the same thing. It was a big time dog situation that I like. And then sure enough, LSU shocked the world and won that game. So I feel weird about it because I actually really like LSU this week. And every time that I've like fully talked myself into losing that bet, LSU has actually won. So I need to figure out what if I need to start feeling a little bit different on this game.
So why do you like LSU on Saturday?
It's what's weird enough. It's like it's not so much as how much I like LSU. It's how much I just don't buy Florida being very good right now. I mean, I was watching that game against Missouri, and I'm like, do something, right? Like do anything. And if this wasn't they had at least a pick six and another big interception. Like, I think Missouri would have beat them. And I think Missouri's a feisty team, Matt, but I don't think they're a very good or talented team. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they kind of played with their food that way, I'm just like, man, I just feel better about LSU. Like, everybody's going to look at 40-13 or 40-17, whatever the hell the final score was. And I still don't think that it was indicative of what that game could have been. I think it was just the worst-case scenario unfolding for LSU. And I think, you're getting a little bit healthier coming back this weekend. I don't know. Call me an idiot, and normally people do. I just feel more confident about the Bayou Bengals this weekend.
All right, my other question, aside from – if LSU loses, what do you have to wear?
So Doring always calls me a clown on air. He's like, yeah, that's such a clown take, or that's a clown. So we're like, screw it. Let's get all into it. Like, we bought not like the little $25 Amazon, like, we went in and bought like some $300. SEC Network bought some like high-end, like serious clown duds, and we'll have like a professional makeup artist in there, like doing the whole sad clown outfit type thing. And here's the caveat: is that we have to get the winning team, make sure they come on. The winning team's coach comes on with us, so that way, if it is LSU, Doring will be dressed up as a clown asking BK questions, like in the full clown garb, and vice versa.
Oh, wait.
I have to do it for Billy.
Wait, so either way, it's the clown. I thought it was like the Lederhosen or whatever, the German outfit for CD, or no, is it a clown either way?
No. It's a clown either way. Like last year was the Leaderhosen.
Oh, last that's right. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
No, I
last
remember
year
the
is a
Tiger
dress-up
King
like that.
one. I remember Doring in the Tiger King outfit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's, and again, the bad part about it is I want to talk trash to him, and he's like, dude, we're horrible this year. Like, there's no way we're going to win it. So every time in the history that we think our individual team is going to do, like, is going to be bad in it, they actually win. So, I don't know, a little reverse engineering is what we're trying to do.
Neither team's super great going into this one, but somebody's got to win. We'll see how it goes. All right, my other question for you is, what is it going to be like in the Burns household, given that your lovely bride, Lauren, is a Alabama fan? I saw the video of Bo when you asked who's going to win, LSU or Tennessee. She said Alabama. Devastating.
Devastating.
What's it going to be like this week in the Burns household for Alabama, Tennessee?
It actually was going to be really damn cool because I was going to take a weekend off and I wanted to go to the game. You know.
Oh, no. Call him back. Freaking cell phones, I tell you what. Never fails. Peter's with us on behalf of Blue Delta Jeans. I'll remind you of that. Well, it's actually a good opportunity to remind you about Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey and Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. All this month, great specials, blood-related for Halloween. The Vampire Facial, which is PRP with microneedling. Of course, PRP for hair restoration. This is non-surgical hair restoration options at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's not there. That's the wrong website. That's the wrong website. That's all right, Paulie. It happens to all of us. Theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com. You got Paulie. You're allowed one every 6 months. Paul put up the wrong website. He had GMFS on the screen. But they're a great company too. The Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. All right, we got PB back with us. All right, so you were starting to say you were excited. You were going to go to the game, and then click.
And then Lauren ended up having to work. She works for Wake Forest now, so they have a big event. So I was upset because I'm like, dude, I'm trying to think. And I posted this on Twitter yesterday, and help me out. Like, what games could you not wait to watch, not being an LSU fan? Like not having a dog in the fight. What was the last regular season game? You're like, I cannot wait to see what happens.
Oh,
you know, like for a lot of people, it's like 2011 LSU Bama. Like if you didn't have a dog in the hunt, game of the century. I mean, obviously, people wanted to see it, but
I'll do you one better. It was kick six. I mean, that was, remember, Auburn was the only loss was to LSU. That was to go to the SEC championship game. That was, I would say, 2013. How about the 2014 Ole Miss Bama game? Game day was there. Katy Perry, the corn dog thing.
How about Mississippi State, Bama that year? Remember being the first?
Yeah. State was, look, it was a great year for them. Don't misunderstand. I think I remember us all thinking that felt like an inevitability that Bama was going to beat State. Maybe I'm wrong, but I kind of felt like that.
Well, and we talked about it. I mean, maybe the second year Manziel played Bama. That was a pretty good, like Johnny Manziel, the second year. That was a pretty solid one as well. But we talked about that, like, you know, what games truly matter. And I'm like, I feel like in the last couple of years we've tried to make Kentucky, Georgia a thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Kentucky's playing good. Could they beat Georgia and be in the East? And like, no, you show up and you're like, all right, this game's over. Like, I legitimately think Tennessee can win this game, especially if it's Milroe and not Bryce Young at 100%. I mean, are you with me on this thing or what?
If Milroe starts, Tennessee will win the game.
Right? I think it feels weird even saying it out loud, but I get that vibe. I mean, I didn't see any part of Tennessee blinking. Like, I wanted to see in Baton Rouge, even though it was 11 a.m. crowd, even though the way the game started, were they not going to look for real in a big game and a big road opponent? And they lived every bit up to the hype, and the moment didn't seem big for them at all.
Yeah. Well, they're a veteran team, man. You got a veteran quarterback. You got a veteran offensive line. Like Tennessee's good. Like it's. I'm with you, man. It's okay to say it. Tennessee's really good. Now, what happens next year when you know Hendon Hooker's gone? I don't know. That's up for discussion. But that's a really good team right now. I mean, I'm 100% with you, PB.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Real quick. So how about this? What about, like everyone's suing the NCAA and winning these lawsuits anymore about what they can and cannot get, right? At what point does somebody sue the NCAA to fight for more eligibility? Like, I'm being dead serious. Like, this is, Hendon Hooker at some point, if he stays in, like, I don't think he's an NFL prospect for whatever reason. I haven't seen his name pushed out there like I have seen, like, other guys. And I'm sitting there going, at what point are we going to get to the point? It may not be with Hendon Hooker, but someone's going to go, wait a minute, I'm a student. I'm still taking classes. Why is the NCAA limiting me to 5 years of being able to play college ball? Like, I mean, can you make the argument that that's limiting their education or opportunities? Like, yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before a lawsuit like that is brought up.
Okay. I don't know if that'll have any merit, but
you're not buying that at all.
I mean, you get 5 years to play 4. It's just sort of what's stated. But your point about Hooker is interesting though, PB. He's 24 years old. I mean, so that's
right.
So as far as being a draft pick, there's a lot of NFL teams that may shy away because he's 24 years old, and you realize that his shelf life may not be as long, right? I mean, by the time he gets to a rookie deal, he'd be almost 30. So
I guess. I mean, it's just a matter of like the amount. I mean, it's crazy when you go through and look at the numbers, how much they throw the ball. And I know it's a lot of pop passes and a lot of stuff here and there, but still the guy doesn't miss. I mean, still no interceptions. I mean, he's accounted for like 40-plus touchdowns and 0 turnovers since he got the starting gig over there. That's just nuts right now.
Does Arkansas lose at BYU?
Oof, gosh, I don't know anything about BYU, and that's the problem. But this team is a struggle bus. This team's a struggle. I will tell you this. You know who has a bigger weekend is Kentucky.
Okay.
Like that, I'm really, really worried about because I think State's legit. I think I'm still baffled about the State LSU game.
Good matchup
but I
for
think
the Tigers,
State is
man.
actually it's a great matchup for them. I mean, House had the guys ready to go. No, State's kind of shot themselves in the foot, but I'm a little worried about Kentucky right now because I feel like that's a team that I wasn't necessarily 100% bought into because the offensive line issues. And if Levis is not 100%, man, that could be. I think State maybe is the 4th best team in the SEC. I think they're better than Ole Miss right now.
The interesting thing about it is we just haven't seen Ole Miss challenged yet, so we just don't know,
Fair.
right? And I don't know, PB. Like LSU outscored Mississippi State 31-3 down the stretch. Like that wasn't a fluke. You know what I mean? Like the old adage, styles make fights. That was a good stylistic matchup for LSU's defense. Tennessee wasn't. But State was a good stylistic matchup for this defense.
And yet I look at this and I still feel like defensively, for whatever reason, again, I don't know why. I just look at State and they seem to pop a little bit more than Ole Miss does. But again, I don't think there's a doubt. There's a tier of Alabama, Georgia, and we'll find out if Tennessee. I mean, think about this. If you're Tennessee and you beat Alabama this weekend, there's a potential that you lose to Georgia, run the rest of the table, you're 11-1, and your only loss is to Alabama, and you're not in the SEC championship game. That could actually work out well for them, like it's worked out for Bama in years prior.
That's a really good point. He's Peter Burns, SEC Network on Twitter at Peter Burns ESPN, with us on behalf of Blue Delta Jeans. I'm going to ask you this question. I don't know, considering the fact that you do work at the SEC Network, if you can answer it, and I will respect it if not. But do you think this is Brian Harsin's last game at Auburn?
I will say this, and this is not coming from anybody at SEC Network, but there are certain Sundays throughout a year where you're like, I might get the call that I might have to work. I've already told Lauren that like there might be a press conference call.
Yeah.
Over on Sunday. Again, we haven't heard anything. We don't know anything about that. It's just a gut feeling. Like when you make these decisions, do you not make them kind of leading into a bye week so you have time to kind of reset and get the interim coach and stuff like that in? I mean, again, nothing would shock me. I mean, again, Matt, I look at Auburn, and I don't think Brian Harsin is a bad coach. I just think the cupboard was so bare, and he's had a hard time getting people there. Now, obviously, that's part of coaching is recruiting, but I just think that I've never seen an Auburn team with that less amount of talent or that least amount of talent in a long, long time. I mean, it's scary to watch how bad that team is right now.
Peter Burns, SEC Network on Twitter at Peter Burns ESPN. Make sure you take a video of. Wait, are you going to be with Lauren on Saturday, or is she going to be working like during the game? So it's a 3:30
no.
Eastern.
3:30. So she'll be back at the house by then. So
Okay.
yeah, and I'll tell you what, this is the most exciting season she's had in 20 years. I mean, because Alabama actually had games that went into the fourth quarter, and I think another one. So I mean, God forbid Alabama have to play 3 close games. I mean, what's the world coming to?
Instagram's Instagram story for Saturday, please.
I'm in. I'll tag you in it.
Burns household reactions during Alabama games. Noteworthy. Everyone should follow Peter on Instagram for those as well. Always a pleasure, man. We appreciate the visit. Thank you.
Later, buddy. See ya.
All right, man. That's Peter Burns on behalf of Blue Delta Jeans. Check him out at bluedeltajeans.com. We appreciate PB being a little flexible. He wasn't able to jump board yesterday, had some family stuff, but said, hey, look, I can do it tomorrow, so happy to accommodate. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. Taylor Calandro in about 15 minutes. Line up your booze questions. 30 minutes from right now. Ben Baby of ESPN.com who covers the Bengals. He's going to give us a few tidbits on the Cincinnati Bengals as they're coming to the Dome on Sunday. It's AFR.
AFR.
The official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints and the official supermarket of AFR is Rouse's. Get online to Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com, or you can always download the Rouse's app. I love telling you about Rouse's. One thing that I love to do, and we always tell you about the delivery and pickup options, of course. Go to Rouse's.com or download the app, select your items, your personal shopper will go pick them out. When you pull up, boom, they'll bring them out to your car. Pay for it on the app. It's all easy. It's so easy. It saves you time. It was something that was born out of COVID and has just become a way of life for a lot of people. So get to Rouse's.com or download the Rouse's app. One thing I love to do around lunchtime, like if I don't have a lunch that day, I love to pop into Rouse's. And I'll go and just go to, maybe it's grab and go sushi. Maybe I make myself a plate of like fish or a salad or something like that. You can go over to the deli where they can make you sandwiches or a plate with your favorite meat. It's great for dinner as well for the whole family. It's Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's, this feels like home.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience, shopper style.
Oh, yeah!
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
By now, most everybody has seen the Devonte Adams video from Monday Night Football. If you weren't watching when the Chiefs played the Raiders, of course, the Raiders lost another close game, and when Devonte Adams was walking off the field, a cameraman walked right in front of him, and he just shoved the cameraman right to the ground. It was a moment of frustration, and I can certainly understand that. There are angles that show the cameraman kind of walking like from behind Devonte Adams, where the cameraman walked right in front of him and maybe didn't see him and kind of came up on him quickly. I still don't know that there's any excuse for it, and I think everyone sort of understands that. Devonte Adams did apologize via Twitter and apologize in the post-game press conference, and that should have been that. Supposedly he was trying to reach out to the guy as well. Well, we now know the guy's name is Ryan Zebley. He was working for Monday Night Football for ESPN as a freelance photographer. That sometimes happens if you're not familiar. When ESPN does a broadcast, they'll go into a local market, and they will hire freelance media people, if it's photographers, if it's cameramen, if it's a crew to run cables. Like you have, instead of like traveling a crew across the country, you have your stable of freelance crew members that can work in that. Now, like your director and your producer and all the people in the truck who execute the broadcast, they're obviously ESPN employees, but a lot of others are not. So anyway, and that's true with any network. So this is a guy who obviously lives in the Kansas City area, freelances for ESPN to work a camera for the game there on the field. That's what he did. So Adams apologized. It should have been it, but it's not it. This cameraman, Ryan Zebley, says he's filed a police report there in Kansas City. Said he suffered whiplash, a headache, and a possible minor concussion from the incident. I'm so bummed by this, man. Because two wrongs don't make a right. And you can watch this video like we've all seen 1,000 times. And the guy, look, he takes a little bit of a fall. There's no doubt, but this wasn't a violent shove. The fall wasn't dramatic. He didn't hit his head. There was no whiplash. I mean, we'll show, if you're watching, we'll show. Like, we've all seen this video. The guy's holding onto the camera. He takes about 3 or 4 stutter steps and falls onto his bum. I mean, it sucks that happened. It's embarrassing for Devonte Adams. It's a really bad look. Good on him for apologizing. But, man, this is the kind of crap, though, that just, like, it ties up our court system. It's frivolous. It's why insurance rates are what they are, because of crap like this. It's just unfortunate, man. I hate to see it. It feels like a guy who had an opportunity to exploit a rich dude who did something stupid and to make him pay for it. And hopefully, if this does go to any type of legal proceeding, hopefully a judge just laughs in this moron's face. Anyway. All right, it's after further review. All right, we're going to get to Taylor Calandro here in less than 10 minutes from right now for Bourbon Dictionary. As always, brought to you by Shoots Electric, CESofLA.com, CESofLA.com. For Shoots Electric, get that whole home generator installed. Great time to do it. It seems like we've moved through storm season. Shoots has inventory. So it's not like you call Shoots, they come out, do the whole evaluation, and then you got to wait 6 months for the generator to come in. They got them. You want a whole home generator installed? Schutz has them in stock right now from Generac. So call Schutz. Go to the website, cesofla.com. Schutz will come out. They'll make the best recommendation for you. They'll handle everything. Contacting the power company, permitting with the city, all of it. They make it so easy. They did this for me and Erica. After Ida last year, Erica was like, enough. We're getting a generator. We're never doing this again. And we're not, because now we have a whole home generator courtesy of Schutz Electric, and the customer service experience was outstanding. cesofla.com, cesofla.com for Schutz Electric. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Nick Saban was asked Wednesday morning for an update on Bryce Young's injured shoulder. Saban said, quote, "There's nothing really new to tell you. He's making progress. He's been able to practice some, and we'll continue to evaluate him as the week progresses." Of course, Alabama is at Tennessee, 2:30 on CBS.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
So Tennessee has a couple of its own questions, with wide receiver Cedric Tillman trying to come back from injury, and of course defensive back Jalen McCullough, who was arrested over the weekend, about their status for the week. So Heupel said that McCullough, like Tillman, their status will be evaluated and made later in the week. The administration is at Tennessee is handling most of the McCullough situation. McCullough was arrested Sunday afternoon after a man entered his apartment by mistake, which then led to an altercation.
The Auburn Tigers.
TJ Finley's yet to see the field in an SEC game this season. Suffered a grade 2 AC joint sprain in his right shoulder during the loss to Penn State in Week 3. According to Brian Harsin, Finley is making progress, but did not provide a clear timeline when the junior might return. He has described Finley as day-to-day. Finley started each of the first 3 games this season after earning the starting job in fall camp. Auburn is at Ole Miss this weekend.
The Missouri Tigers.
Missouri landed a verbal commitment from 3-star Indiana defensive back Philip Roche, that coming in via social media on Tuesday evening. Roche is the 13th best prospect in the state of Indiana. He chose Missouri over Boston College, Indiana, and Nebraska. He gives Mizzou 12 commits for the 2023 class, including 3 defensive backs.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
And a quick basketball note. Star center Oscar Tshiebwe will undergo a procedure on his knee. He was last season's National Player of the Year. Tshiebwe elected to forego the NBA draft and return for his senior season. He dominated last year, 17 points, 15 boards per game. Kentucky opens the season against Howard on November 7th. There you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products, online at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales service after the sale, celebrating 20 years as an official office equipment provider of the LSU Tigers. Of course, also the official office equipment provider of the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans, and the ULL Ragin' Cajuns. It's Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, y'all, it's after further review. We'll knock out a break. When we come back, get your booze questions in. Taylor Calandro, a little Bourbon Dictionary, a segment that was born out of quarantine when wasn't nobody doing nothing and sitting around drinking all day. So Taylor answered your booze questions. It's become popular. We've carried it on, and we'll welcome Taylor Calandro, a new dad times 2. When we come back, it's AFR.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you about River City's 1 hour to air. Great people, great company. It's been in business for more than 40 years, and this is a great time of year to call River City's 1 hour air. Look, a lot of times we get it. When it gets hot, your AC goes out, you need your AC fixed, you call River City's 1 hour air. But seasonal maintenance, when the seasons change, so important. In the fall before the winter comes, and in the spring before the summer comes. Like I always tell you during the springtime, call River City's 1 hour air. The triple-digit temps are coming. Don't wait till your AC goes kaput and then you're stuck sweating. Same right now. Yo, the cold temps are coming eventually. Don't get stuck with a situation where your heater's malfunctioning. It's unsafe, not efficient. Call River City's 1 hour air, 752-0001, 752-0001, or online at onehourbr.com. Mention the Moscona special. They'll give you $30 off your preseason heater safety check. Again, they'll get that thing tuned up, clean, efficient for the coming cold weather. River City's 1 hour air, 752-0001.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Glad to have you aboard with us here. We will preview Saints Bengals with Ben Baby of ESPN.com here in about 13 minutes from right now. But right now, we welcome aboard Taylor Calandro, Wine and Spirits Director over at Calandro's. But more importantly, today we introduce Kinley's dad. How are you, dude?
Good, Matt. What's up, man? Yeah, brand new baby on Friday. So she's supposed to come Monday, but she came Friday.
Well, I'm sure Hannah, Taylor's wife, I'm sure Hannah greatly appreciated her daughter deciding to arrive 3 days early because that's a big baby.
Yeah, she was an ounce shy of 11 pounds, and the biggest baby born in Louisiana was Herman Johnson, old offensive lineman at LSU.
I heard that. Yeah.
He was 16 pounds. I can't imagine that. That's crazy.
I mean,
because 11 pounds was a 3-month-old.
God bless Hannah. She deserves. I told you she deserves a medal. You're right. She deserves so much more than a medal after that.
Man.
But congratulations. Love the pictures. That's awesome. We're excited for you.
Appreciate it.
Are you working?
I'm going back to work tomorrow.
Okay. So if I ask what's new, what's new?
Oh, absolutely new. We got a new a beer that we got last year from Port Orleans called Trollin', which is a sour made with gummy worms, the blue and red gummy worms.
Oh, I remember that.
It's really good. If you like sours, it tastes just like a gummy worm. So we have that. We got Crown Salted Caramel back. People are gonna laugh. Man, that stuff was hard to get the past few years, but we got Crown Salted Caramel back. So,
You're right, I am laughing.
it's hilarious, but in the next week or so, we're gonna be getting a new Penelope. It's called Valencia, and it's finished in Spanish orange wine barrels.
Okay.
I'm very excited about that. So.
Real quick, do you have your AirPods in?
I do.
Okay, would you mind, please, just doing the handset? It would be way, 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 way better.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much. That's just a million times better. All right, you know the drill. Let's get to your questions for Taylor. Email us, tweet us at Matt Moscona, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, or text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Kyle D. says, Matt, ask Taylor, waiting for it to load, does Taylor add a few drops of water to really wake up the whiskey?
Me, personally, when I'm drinking, I do not, but I do like to drink whiskey on the rocks. So, yes, technically I am adding water. When we try barrels, we do add a few drops of water to our samples because it does change the whiskey. I've talked about that before. So, and I know a lot of people do it, so we want to see how the whiskey is after we add that water. So we do add water, but for me personally, no, I don't generally add water, but it does change the whiskey.
Brett DeGrow asked Taylor, will the store be receiving any of the Maker's Mark allocated release BRT 1 and 2?
I'm sure we will, but I don't really know that until they come to the door generally.
Oh, so can you explain that? Because I didn't. What allocated releases does Maker's Mark have?
So it's basically just numbers and letters, and I can't remember which one he just said. It's
BRT
different.
1 and 2.
Yeah. So but they're all like that. They've done a couple of them. They're all kind of different finished. It's similar to the Private Select program. The one, I think it was last year, it was outstanding. It was very good, and I wish we would have gotten more, but we didn't. So if you see those, the ones with all the letters on them, I highly suggest picking one up because last year was exceptional. I tried it not too long ago. So,
Greg Lehman asked Taylor, what is the first alcoholic drink you'd like to share with your child?
When she's 21, I'll probably drink a Cosmo with her.
You'll have what?
A Cosmo, like a Cosmo or something like that.
Not like a glass of champagne to toast 21?
Sure, maybe something like that, or maybe just like a super rare bottle of bourbon if she's into whiskey.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe it's quite literally in her blood. Austin Granger asked Taylor, where can I find a bottle of Basil Hayden's Subtle Smoke?
That's a great question. You can't find it at Calandro's. I have no clue, man, to be honest with you.
What is Basil Hayden Subtle Smoke? I haven't even heard
it. It was part of that series that they did, and I'm sure there's still some floating around. But like the rye, and then they did the dark rye. So that series that they've done, and the toasted too was part of that series too. This is just a smoked Basil Hayden.
When does the allocated releases start hitting shelves or stores? Because we're getting close to that time.
In the past few weeks, we've already seen an uptick in like we've had Elijah Craig Barrel Proof on the shelf now for 2 weeks straight. So there's been an up and Toasted Barrel from Elijah Craig, and that's just to name two of them. But this time of year is when the allocations start flowing in for sure, especially in whiskey.
Why do you think why are you getting more barrel proof on the shelf now?
I've been thinking about this the last few months because we have been getting more allocated whiskey. I can't tell you why. I don't know if it's because the economy has slowed down and the distilleries are selling less, so they have more to send out. I really don't know. And I haven't got an answer about it either because every distillery seems like they are kind of picking up a little bit. So that's a good question.
Ask Taylor, have you ever had Hennessy Pure White? It recently got a bottle. It's real smooth.
Yeah. I've gotten asked that on the show before. Yeah. So the Pure White is very smooth actually. It's a UK only release. You can get it in the Caribbean too. The European owned islands. It's good. It's just Hennessy Pure White, and there's other marks of Hennessy that I really like, and I really like cognac anyway. So yeah, if you find a bottle, it's a cool bottle to have on your bar for sure.
Brian Chandler asked Taylor, any Eagle Rare in stock?
Not at the moment. Nope. Probably soon, though, because we hadn't got it in a while. So I would say soon. That's one of those allocated bottles that we have been getting every so often now.
We're like 30 seconds. Greg said, I'm strictly a beer drinker, so I rarely understand what y'all are talking about. But for some reason, it sounds so damn interesting, and I always look forward to this segment.
Well, good, man. That's the whole point.
We do appreciate it. All right. We got 15 seconds. We got to bounce. Congrats again. Glad
right,
everybody's healthy, man. We appreciate the time as always.
Thank you. All right.
All right, be well, man. That's Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. It's after further review. Let's head up to Cincinnati. We talk to Ben Baby next.
AFR.
Hey, I want to remind you about Mold Zero USA, mold-0usa.com. I'm not going to out this restaurant in particular, but this is something that happens. It's a restaurant town that has like an indoor-outdoor vibe, which is awesome and one of my favorite places, actually. But when you have that, you have an AC vent inside, and then you have the humidity from outside coming in, and what you have, obviously, is a environment that can create mold. And if you look up on the ceiling around that vent, there's mold. I guess I've been trained to look at this sort of stuff now. But if you're a business owner, if you even in your home, you can think about that, where you might have condensation, where might water be, where might you have mold in your house. It obviously can be dangerous, and Mold Zero is a patented, non-toxic, dry fog treatment. They come in, they spray their fog, they wait about 2 hours, let it dwell, let the fog dissipate, and then you have a clean-smelling, mold-free home just like that. Mold-0usa.com.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, we're happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The start of Game 2 of the NLDS between the Phillies and Braves has been delayed by rain. Major League Baseball will determine whether the game will be played today. NFL Raiders star receiver Devonte Adams charged with misdemeanor assault for shoving a credentialed media worker after Monday's loss to the Chiefs. Adams apologized for the incident, which left the man with whiplash, a headache, and possible minor concussion. ESPN's Marcus Spears.
It's just a bad situation for Devonte that he probably didn't think much about, and he didn't think all of this would come out of it. It's a super unfortunate situation that should have been handled better first by Devonte Adams. But also, I'm sure that the NFL is going to look at protocol when these dudes are exiting the field now as well.
Marcus Spears on First Take. Dolphins rookie quarterback Skylar Thompson will make his first career start against the Vikings on Sunday as Tua Tagovailoa and Teddy Bridgewater remain in concussion protocol. Miami optimistic receiver Tyreek Hill will play despite a foot injury. Cowboys preparing for quarterback Cooper Rush to start Sunday against the Eagles. Dak Prescott expected to miss his 5th straight game after thumb surgery.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Well, I just want to know if you picked up your NIL check from back in the day yet.
They would have, put it this way, Coach, they would have to sell a university.
More from KJ and Max Thursday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt. I am sweating. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Saints Bengals on Sunday from the Dome. Jameis Winston did return to practice today for the New Orleans Saints. He was limited. So could we be talking about a possible return to Jameis Winston as the starting quarterback of the New Orleans Saints Sunday against the Bengals in the Dome? We'll talk much more about that. We'll know much more, obviously, as the week goes along and we get closer to Sunday. But Winston back at practice, limited today, but progress there, no doubt. Both the Saints and the Bengals sit at 2-3 here as they head into Week 6. A little bit of desperation for a couple of teams trying to dig themselves out of early holes. If the Bengals get it done, they'll do it on the road. Let's head up to Cincinnati. Ben Baby from ESPN.com, who covers the Bengals. We've had to bother this guy more times than we probably ever bothered any opposing media reporter ever, just because of all the ties with LSU guys. We appreciate Ben's time as always. Hey, man, welcome back. Thanks for the time as always. How are you?
Hey, doing well, Matt. It's it is. There are so many ties. I feel like I'm almost a de facto like Louisiana expat at this point with how much I ask Joe and Jamar and these guys about their time down there. But they're definitely looking forward to the trip back to the Superdome. Obviously, first time for them since they played in that national championship game in 2020.
Man, are you expecting I know what I'm expecting. I'm curious what you are expecting to see in the Dome on Sunday with respect to the fans, like how much orange and black there will be in the Dome.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of reception they get. And I think there's, Joe pointed out today that, there's going to be a lot of people who cheered for them back when they were at LSU. They may not necessarily be cheering for them again, but I still think no matter, even if you're a Saints fan who's also an LSU fan, you're going to obviously admire what Joe and Jamar and Tyler Shelvin to a degree did for your program. And so I think there will be a good amount of orange and black. Cincinnati actually does travel pretty well. So, I think they're going to have a good showing. But, any fans that became fans of just Joe and Jamar over the years, specifically Joe, I would imagine they would turn up for this one and make sure that they give them a proper reception.
I think you're going to be surprised how much orange and black is in there on Sunday. I'm as a Saints fan, I'm worried about it, quite honestly, because I think it's going to neutralize the home field a large degree. But ultimately, the two teams are going to have to go play the game. What is the general buzz around this team after winning the AFC, starting so slow right now, and suffering a tough loss there on Sunday Night Football?
Yeah, I think they're really trying to still figure things out, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We saw what teams, experienced last year when they tried to defend Joe and Jamar in one-on-one situations. It generally did not work out well for them, and Cincinnati had, metrically the most explosive passing attack in the NFL last season. You fast forward to 2022, and teams are playing a lot of exotic looks, basically a lot of soft zone, similar to what Kansas City saw last year, in that they're going to try to make the Bengals go all the way down the field and really sustain drives, which is, something Cincinnati struggled with in 2021. This year, they have done that well to a varying degree, but the explosiveness just isn't there, and really the efficiency inside the red zone and goal-to-go situations is definitely lacking. So Cincinnati will try to fix that starting this week.
And why have they struggled to score?
I think it's just the Bengals are still trying to figure out really how this offense works best. You've seen them try a lot of different things. The run game really hasn't been there. That's a main reason why this offense has struggled. They've gotten a lot of light boxes, and when the numbers suggest when you don't have a lot of defenders in that tackle box in the line of scrimmage, you should run the ball and you should get a lot of favorable run looks. Unfortunately, Joe Mixon just hasn't been able to find those yards that the numbers expect him to. I believe he's one of the worst in the NFL in rushing yards over expectation, according to NFL Next Gen. And so, if you're a Bengals fan, there is some comfort in how well he ran against Baltimore, how well they sustained drives, but ultimately they are going to need to be a lot better than they have been. And, there's been some pressure on Zach Taylor, the Bengals coach, as a team's play caller. A lot of fans are wondering if he's the right guy, and there's going to be a lot of, pressure throughout the rest of the season for this offense to really click, because on paper, it seems like they have all the pieces to be a top 5 offense in the NFL.
Oh, what have you done for me lately, man? Just a few months ago in the Super Bowl, and now they're wondering if Zach Taylor should be the play caller. Such is life in the NFL, right? The interesting thing, Ben, is despite as so much of the Bengals' offensive struggles have been talking points, the defense has been really good. How much progress have you noticed, or maybe areas in particular where they've improved from a year ago to where they are right now?
To be honest, I think this defense has been really good for maybe the last couple of years, really towards the back end of last season, when you look at all the guys that they've had in the mix. And I think the really big X factor has been Trey Hendrickson, who had that big year with the Saints. And then when he came to Cincinnati, everybody wondered, me included, are we sure this wasn't just a flash in the pan, a guy who really benefited from playing on the same defensive line as Cam Jordan and, was in a good situation, had one good season? Did the Bengals really give the appropriate guy the right amount of money? And Trey immediately proved everybody wrong and showed that 2020 wasn't a fluke. Went out and made the Pro Bowl last season and has been very good. I mean, just watching him has been phenomenal. I mean, there was a play last week against Baltimore where he got double-teamed on a third down. He shed the double team, went upfield, and tripped up Lamar Jackson to get a stop. And it shows you just how good he's been. And he's definitely gotten the attention of opposing offenses, like he is one of the best edge rushers. Von Bell, another former Saints, played pretty well for them. He's a guy who's shown a ton of range. And, it's interesting. We just talked to defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, and he said whenever Bell left New Orleans, that was one of the knocks that they had heard, is that, Von is just a box safety, doesn't have the range. And Lou said, that hasn't been the case, and we never thought that. He's had 3 interceptions in the last 2 games. But, I think the guy who everyone's going to be interested to see, we talked about the reception for Joe and Jamar. What's it going to be like for Eli Apple, who notoriously
I can tell you that one, bro.
Yeah, I think it's going to be exceptionally loud for Eli, and Eli's going to eat it up. And what I find interesting, though, is that, Eli did publicly, go at it with the Saints fans, and it was Eli being Eli. But, I think, when I talked to him last year, before all of that, before the postseason, he actually credited, the turnaround in his career with being in New Orleans, being on a team that was, a potential defensive pass interference away from winning the Super Bowl or going to the Super Bowl. I think that experience, given what he had dealt with earlier in his career, was really good for him. And now he's playing with a lot of confidence. So I think Saints fans will be more than thrilled to see what Eli is able to do on Sunday, and I think Eli wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, Eli Apple tweeted, New Orleans is the dirtiest, smelliest city and has the worst food ever. It's that swine and crawfish that's killing y'all brains. Ben, there was one undeniable. Like, this is the easiest one. He will be roundly booed, loudly booed, and ridden hard the entire game by Saints fans. That's going to be the most obvious thing that happens Sunday in the Dome. Ben Baby is with us from ESPN.com. He's on Twitter at Ben_Baby. He's NFL Nation reporter covering the Bengals. Defensively, if there is a deficiency that New Orleans might be able to exploit, where is it?
I think it's going to be, potentially if they can get anything going in the run game, I think that would be interesting. Maybe the use of Taysom Hill on the edges. That's somewhere we saw Baltimore have a lot of success with Devin Duvernay and J.K. Dobbins to a certain degree. But Duvernay, they used him in a lot of gadget plays, worked him on the edge. And we'll see if Taysom Hill can be effective in that way. I think the big question for the Saints offense is who's playing receiver for them. We saw the injury report today. So many guys hurt, and I just wonder, are they going to have the receivers necessary on Sunday to test this Bengals defense? And this Bengals secondary is pretty good. So, perhaps, finding some, working the field horizontally, seeing what you can get with Taysom, what this quarterback situation is going to look like. There's a lot of X factors on Sunday. So, the Saints offense will have to try to pick their spots to test New Orleans or test Cincinnati.
What about special teams, Ben? We know what happened in the opening week when McPherson's healthy. He's one of the best. What do we know about special teams with the Bengals?
Yeah, I think that it's you're going deep in here. The long snapping situation. Cal Adamitis, he's in for Clark Harris, who had an injury, season-ending injury in week 1. But McPherson is one of the best kickers in the league. You saw what he was able to do in the postseason last year, and they have a lot of confidence in him. The punting situation is the punting situation with Kevin Huber, who, had an okay week, I think, against Baltimore, but I think he's still their best option. But I think the Bengals feel confident that McPherson can boot it. And, in a dome where there's going to be no wind, you wonder if his range isn't going to be a little bit longer than it normally is. So that might be an interesting factor on Sunday if the game situation presents itself.
How bizarre was the kick that went directly over the upright?
Yeah, it's funny. We were sitting, I guess, closest to, on that side of the field where the upright went over, and the Baltimore fans right in front of us, they all cheered because they thought that McPherson missed it. And once they, saw the replay and saw that it went over and it was good, that's when they kind of figured it out. But there was still a lot of booing. A lot of people weren't thrilled. And that could have been a disaster right there if Evan missed that one. But ultimately, it didn't matter because Baltimore still won. Yeah. But it was a real moment because people inside the stadium thought that went in.
Hey, before you go, if Cincinnati leaves the Dome on Sunday with a win and evens up their record at 3-3, how do you think the game goes?
It's a good question. I think that it potentially could be a low-scoring game. I mean, Cincinnati has crushed the under all season, so I would not. If you're a betting man, or a betting person, I would not bet the over in this game. But I have zero confidence that it's going to be a high-scoring affair, especially when you look at what the Saints offense has done and kind of the injury situation over there. I think, Cincinnati, based on what we've seen from other defenses, I imagine New Orleans will do the same thing, try to make them take everything underneath and have those long, sustained drives, which means it's going to be a pretty, short game in terms of possessions. And, the Bengals defense has been pretty good. So if Cincinnati's going to win, I think it's going to be one of these where they're going to have to grind it out and potentially just win. And it's not going to be a pretty game, but right now Cincinnati will take anything it can get.
He's on Twitter at Ben_Baby. Y'all give him a follow. Saints Bengals noon in the Dome on Sunday. Ben, safe travels, man. Great to talk to you as always. We appreciate a couple of minutes.
Hey, sounds good. Thank you for having me.
All right, man. Be well. It is After Further Review brought to you by Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Tell you every day. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. You can always go to the website, HudcoRoofing.com. Or you can dial us up at 364-1007, 364-1007. If you call that number, I mentioned this before, it does forward to 3 of our managers' cell phones. One of them is Terrio. So if you call 364-1007, there's a really good chance Ryan Terrio may actually answer the phone. 364-1007. That's in the 225 area code. 364-1007. Or you can always go to HudcoRoofing.com. If you'd prefer to do it that way, go to the website. Right on the homepage, you'll see the contact form to get your free inspection. That's not a gag. There's no catch. By the way, if anyone is charging you for an inspection, you should run the other way. That should always be a free, no obligation service offered by any roofing company. We'd love to work for you. Give us a call. We'll send an inspector out to your house to get up on your roof, walk it, mark it, chalk it. If you have damage, we'll help you file a claim with your insurance company and work really hard with your insurance adjuster to get that claim approved so you can get your roof repaired or replaced. HUDCO Roofing. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. More than 20 years here in Louisiana, owned and operated by Louisiana people. We use Louisiana shingles, manufactured in Shreveport, Louisiana jobs, all about supporting local. That's HUDCO Roofing and HUDCOroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. HUDCO Roofing and HUDCOroofing.com. All right, we will circle back to the Saints again because I want to run through the full injury report. The most notable thing today, of course, is that Jameis did return. Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry out of practice again today. So the Saints continue to navigate these unfortunate injuries to a lot of their star players. We'll see who is available this weekend as we get closer to Sunday. But notably today, Jameis did practice on a limited basis today. Jarvis, Michael Thomas. I should mention also Marshawn Lattimore, Chris Olave, Peyton Turner, Calvin Throckmorton, Deontay Hardy, all out today. So a lengthy injury list for New Orleans. But we'll go through that in detail and also talk about the Saints' addition at running back. If you missed it, they did sign Jordan Howard, the longtime Bear and Eagle running back, to add some depth at that position. So we'll get to that coming up a bit later in the show. Let me knock out a break. When we come back, I want to switch back, talk a little LSU. Brian Kelly on the SEC Coaches Teleconference today gave some good news about Will Campbell, a couple of other tidbits from Kelly and Napier as the Tigers and the Gators get ready to tee it up and kick it off in Gainesville on Saturday. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime. Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% with 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Shop, shop, come on, shop, shop, come on,
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah!
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Of course, a lot going on tonight. Trivia at Pluckers tonight, 7:30 at Blue Bond at 8 o'clock at Nicholson. Of course, Scone and Tea. T-Bob and I will be live at Oliver Twist, 7 p.m. You can watch live on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube or the 104.5 ESPN Facebook page if you can't join us out at Oliver Twist. But, of course, we invite you to come on out, join us at Oliver Twist on Perkins near Essen. Well, for the second consecutive week, LSU has held a players-only meeting. It was Mekhi Garner who was doing player interviews on Tuesday, and he told reporters that after the Tennessee loss on Monday, they held a players-only meeting. Said the message was the lopsided result, that the execution was unacceptable. This is all in a tweet from Shea Dixon, by the way. Garner said they started with special teams, then poured into the rest. Said it was a great reset for the team. Okay. Last week, I didn't really care about the players-only meeting between Jaden Daniels and the receivers because who cares? I mean, players should talk. I mean, they should talk and talk often. I think we make a lot of the players-only meeting thing. I don't know why players continue to discuss this. I think it does illustrate two things. Number one, it's give a damn that they do actually care and want to be better and recognize when things are wrong. And number two, it's that you have vocal leadership. Does it result in anything? No. LSU's quarterbacks and receivers last week had a players-only meeting, and they were brutal throwing the football. I mean, I say that. They threw for 300 yards, but I think we all understand how that game all transpired. And LSU threw it 45 times. They were throwing to catch up, and it's kind of what it was. I don't think anybody would look at the passing offense on Saturday and say it was efficient. And I don't know that a players-only meeting after losing against Tennessee is going to make you any better this week, but what hopefully it does is get you to lock in a little bit and show that this team cares about improving and getting better. Brian Kelly on Wednesday on the SEC Coaches Teleconference was asked his opinion on players-only meetings.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a lot of emotions after a loss like we had. The most important emotion is that they care, and this team cares, and they care about the things necessary that go to winning. Look, the line is long for those people that want to win. The line is not quite as long for those that are willing to do the things necessary to win. And these guys want to do the things necessary to win. And so that's what they're asking. They want to know what they can do to be better, to continue to work towards our process of, being excellent. Average is not good enough. So I applaud them. I think it's outstanding that they have the right emotions. It's not one where they're pointing fingers, and they want to be accountable and be the best version of themselves. That's a good thing.
I would completely agree with him. I don't know that in any way alters the result against Tennessee or this week against Florida, but all the things he just said about being in the right frame of mind and what your motivation is and all that's accountability, all that is very, very true and shows a lot of maturity, which is a good thing. And I think a good thing as far as building the foundation for what the future of this program will be. Now, specifically with Tennessee, Mekhi Gardner, here's what he said about what happened in that loss.
I don't think we just had the urgency. Like, we didn't take initiative to get lined up, to get the calls, to get our cleats in the dirt. I think that was our biggest mistake, going against a team, especially as good as Tennessee was.
They lacked urgency. Honestly, that's something that Cole Kubelik talked about with us here on Monday. One of the big takeaways from our conversation with Cole, if you missed it, I would highly recommend you go back and listen to it. It was Monday in hour number 2. He said he was stunned in the first 2 drives how many times LSU's defensive front didn't have their hand in the dirt when Tennessee was snapping the football. Like, you know they're going to go fast. How are you not lined up? I mean, that's legitimate. I mean, and Tennessee scored a lot and scored often and scored seemingly easily. And, you know, this week it's a different kind of challenge, but a challenge nonetheless. A challenge from a Florida team that has shown they can spin it and they can score. And they did so against Tennessee. They had far more success against Tennessee than you did. Now, it's a different type of challenge with Anthony Richardson because of his dynamic running ability. Cam Newton-esque, I think is fair to say. When you talk about a guy that's that big, that has that much wiggle, make you miss, and can also run for power. I mean, it's special. It's a special skill set. And if you remember how the game a year ago in Baton Rouge went, Emory Jones started for Florida. He had a touchdown and 2 picks. And look, nobody could tackle Ty Davis-Price. I mean, Ty Davis-Price went for 287 in the ballgame. 36 carries for 287. He averaged 8 yards a carry. They just couldn't stop the counterplay. But Emory Jones was turning the football over, so they went to Anthony Richardson. And he threw for $167 and 3 touchdowns and almost rallied Florida back into the game. I mean, Florida put up a 22-point third quarter and rallied from down 2 scores. But LSU just kept the pressure on. Scored 49 in the game. But Florida scored 4. I mean, the thing that's overlooked often in that ball game, because LSU won and Ty Davis-Price had the day it did, is that Florida put up 488 yards. Florida outgained LSU in that ballgame. Florida out first downed LSU. They outgained LSU. They certainly outpassed LSU. They didn't outrush LSU in the ballgame. And Florida did not commit a single penalty in that game either. So Florida did a lot right. They just turned the ball over and couldn't stop Ty Davis-Price. So you're going to see a lot of the same personnel with an offense that's more suitable, I would say, to a running quarterback. I mean, we saw what Billy Napier did at ULL with a running quarterback. It's what he wants to do, and he's got a better athlete there and a really good offensive line. So stopping Anthony Richardson or trying to slow Anthony Richardson is going to be just the key for LSU defensively. Here was Brian Kelly talking about Anthony Richardson, the Florida quarterback, who they're going to face on Saturday.
Yeah, I've said this, I think, earlier in the week in my press conference. There's some similarities between him and Hendon Hooker in terms of size and physicality, his ability to throw the football. These are similar quarterbacks, and they're talking about Hooker as a Heisman Trophy candidate. So, he's got incredible skill. We're going to have to do a great job of containing him. They've got an outstanding offensive line that protects him very well and allows him to run the football, which gives him the opportunity to obviously have a balanced offense and throw the football because they're so good at running the football. So a very talented player.
Florida is a very good rushing offense. And I think LSU's run defense, which was exposed a little bit against Tennessee, I think in large part was exposed because of Tennessee's ability to be multidimensional. I don't believe Florida's ability to throw the ball is it's certainly not what Tennessee's is. Tennessee's receivers are more dynamic. There is no Brew McCoy in that Florida receiving corps. Their best receiver is Ricky Purcell, who's a transfer from Arizona State, who was just a guy at Arizona State. He's the best guy at Florida. So you don't worry so much about the one-on-one matchups with Florida's receivers and LSU's secondary, which is why LSU should, in theory, be able to commit numbers to the box to try to limit this Florida offense. Now, that's easier said than done, but you can look up and down and you could say, Kentucky held Florida to 16. Missouri held Florida to 24. Both those games were on their home field. So you look at Kentucky's blueprint. Richardson was 14 of 35 passing for 143 and 2 picks. The turnovers were a problem. The inaccuracy throwing, which is a lot of what LSU did to Will Rogers and that in that game against Mississippi State. And running the football in that game against Kentucky, Florida ran it for just $136. They had 279 yards of total offense. I mean, Kentucky gave you the blueprint of how to limit Florida's offense. And it's a lot of what LSU did to Mississippi State as well. So, I like Matt House a lot. I think in large part he has done a masterful job this year of maximizing his talent. You were outmanned last week. You got behind early, and it was just never going to be easy against Tennessee to begin with. This is a matchup where, for LSU's defense, it is more manageable. The bigger question for LSU is can they score? Can they go and score on the road against Florida and limit big plays and not get down 3 scores like they were against Auburn? You have to battle your way back, because I don't know if it's going to be possible against a Florida team that is certainly better than Auburn, and a team at Florida with a good offensive line that's capable of running the ball and chewing clock. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service, name brand tires at wholesale prices. You know where to find them at ShawBillsTire.com, with 17 locations across South Louisiana, from Morgan City up to Baton Rouge, over to Lafayette, points in between. The newest location is in Denham Springs, so Livingston Parish. You got your own Shaw Bills now, so you can find it online at ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Schedule service online. Shop tires online. When you go to Shaw Bills, ask about the Shaw Bills credit card as well. Remember, the first time you use your Shaw Bills credit card, you get $50 free off any purchase. So if you have an oil change, when the oil change is $50, you basically just get charged $1 because they have to charge something to run the card. But it's basically a free oil change the first time you use that Shaw Bills credit card. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. All right, y'all, glad to have you aboard with us here. In about 30 minutes, we'll circle back to the Saints injury report. Also want to talk about the Saints adding running back Jordan Howard. Look, they desperately needed depth at running back. We all know that. You saw Latavius Murray walk away after he was signed by Denver.
Murray, present.
And then, Tony Jones Jr., was picked up on waivers by Seattle this past week. So the Saints needed a running back. They worked out a handful of them today, and they signed Jordan Howard. Spent a lot of years with the Bears, and most notably with the Philadelphia Eagles. Stint with Miami in between as well, but he's now a New Orleans Saint. We'll talk about that coming up after the top of the hour. All right, we'll knock out a break. We'll go a little overrated, underrated when we return next on AFR.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you about our friends over at Clegg's Nursery, and I love telling you about our friends at Clegg's Nursery, especially when they're doing great things for our community, like what they're doing this weekend. Of course, the Baton Rouge Green Foundation does a masterful job, a wonderful job of keeping our community green and beautiful. And Clegg's has partnered with the Baton Rouge Green Foundation for the Baton Rouge Green Tree Spree this Saturday at Clegg's on Segan. It's from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., so LSU kicks off at 6 p.m. You got tons of time to get to Clegg's early or around lunchtime from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the Baton Rouge Green Tree Spree this Saturday at Clegg's on Segan. Their tree experts will be there. If you buy a BRG-approved tree, Clegg's will donate with each purchase to BRG. It's Baton Rouge Green. Stock up for tree planting season, a bunch of native and rare species. It's the Baton Rouge Green Tree Spree this Saturday at Clegg's.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
3 people walk into a bar. The first 2 order the same old margs. The third, Nuevo Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer. Crafted with real lime juice and a crisp tequila flavor. Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer.
As a community bank, B1 Bank invests in relationships with the people and businesses we proudly represent. Our B1 bankers are here to help simplify the complicated, understand your needs, and make managing your finances easier. At B1 Bank, we offer an array of solutions to help simplify your transaction needs. B1 Bank, one highly personal banking experience. Visit us online at b1bank.com for more information.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Congratulations to Alex Obry of Berwick. Alex is our Week 6 winner in the 2022 Twin Peaks.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Matt. Why did you interrupt me?
Did you just say Obry?
Yeah, I did.
O-U-B-R-E.
I don't speak French, Matt.
Paulie, help him out. You have to know this.
Obry?
Oh, my God.
Aubrey?
Where are you people from?
Aubrey?
It's Oob.
That's what Paul just said.
He said Ubry. It's Oob. O-U-B-R-E. How do you not know how to pronounce Oob?
I don't speak French.
That's as common as Boudreaux.
No, it's not.
Yes.
I've literally never seen that. I've never seen that name before in my entire life. Boudreaux, you literally see every day. Yes, you do not see Oubre or
Freak
Ubry.
Jury. Read that real quick. We're doing Freak Jury.
Oh, darn. See,
okay, whatever. We're doing Freak Jury. Give me my finish your read. We're scrapping over it underrated. We're doing Freak Jury. Finish your read.
All right, Alex is our Week 6 winner in the 2022 Twin Peaks College. That's where I was. Don't look at me. I picked up right where I left off.
I'm not shaking my head. I'm just shaking my head in disbelief that you don't know how to pronounce Oob.
The 2022 Twin Peaks College Football Pick'em Contest. Alex wins a $50 Twin Peaks gift card. Don't forget to make your picks for Week 7, like I've done the last 5 weeks, by 5 p.m. on Thursday. Play the 2022 Twin Peaks College Football Pick'em today at 1045ESPN.com.
I got a better idea. Call my wife. Call her right now. There's no one that I know that knows less about things that everyone should know than Erica Moscona. And I say that lovingly, but there are stunningly, there are things that she should that adult humans should know that she doesn't know. I guarantee you. God, I hope she doesn't prove me wrong here. Call her, please. She will know how to pronounce this word. I guarantee you. And if she doesn't, well, we're going to dinner on Friday night and she's paying. I'll tell you that much. I'll take there.
I mean, you're paying technically.
No.
Okay.
Separate bank accounts.
Oh.
Her choice. No.
Hey.
Her choice. When we got married, I want to join bank accounts. She said no, separate. So, nope. Separate. Separate is separate.
Man, what happened to what's mine is yours? Yeah.
Well, no, the way that works is what's hers is hers. What's mine is hers. Answer the phone, Erica. Oh, bet Drew's got her phone. She's home. Call.
That's what I called, was landline.
Yes, we have a landline, by the way. Her choice. Her choice.
That's what
We're
this
the
segment's
last
turned
remaining
into.
humans that have a landline cable. I'm sure we have a rotary phone somewhere mixed in. When you want the internet in our house, you do the
Yeah.
Call her again. All right, just give me free jury then.
All right.
O-U-B-R. All right, here's the question. Do you know how to pronounce the name O-U-B-R-E? Last name, O-U-B-R-E. Do you know how to pronounce it? By the way, Alex Oob texted me on the text line, all caps, thank you, Matt. And Scott Shirley said the NBA player Kelly Oubre pronounces it like Musso did. No, Paulie did that, but Kelly Oubre is not from here. In Louisiana, O-U-B-R-E is pronounced Oob. It's like...
Isn't that what you said, Paul?
No, he said, thank you. Even Paulie is shutting you down on that one.
I was
Paulie knows
asking
he
a
didn't say it
question,
correctly.
first of all. I wasn't saying that is what he said. I asked
Michael
him, is that?
Oob. Another Oob. Say it, brother, says Michael Oob. I'm telling you, Oobs are coming out. There's Oobs all over the text line. Oobs to the left of me. Oobs to my right. Everywhere's an Oob. Scott Morvan. Oob.
Never met a noob.
Is anybody call? I don't even pulled up the call screen because I haven't asked yet. Because I don't know how to do this on Freak Jury. It doesn't make sense. What is it? Do you know how to pronounce Oob? Be better if we just like randomly called people and said, do you know how to do it? All right, wait, hang on. Let me go to this guy. Hey, what's your name? Hey, hey, what's your name? Yeah,
Greg.
you. Hey, Greg. Okay. I know this isn't our traditional Freak Jury, so I apologize. Greg called, so I just went live to you. Greg, do you know how to pronounce O-U-B-R-E?
Yes, I do.
How do you pronounce it?
Oob.
Thank you, Greg. Have a wonderful day, Greg. Greg is my new best friend ever. We're BFFs, me and Greg.
It's low standards, man.
It is a very low standard, but I need friends,
standard,
okay?
brother.
I need friends, Musso. Don't judge me, jerk.
All right. Well, anyway, congrats to Alex on his Week 7 win. I mean,
I can't believe you screwed that up.
I don't know anyone with that last name. I've never met anyone with that last name.
Anybody in Louisiana could
not
screw up,
everybody.
who has lived your whole life here, could screw up Oob.
Well, it happened, man. I don't really know what else.
Christopher Villery, tell him, Matt, won't lie. Some of my wife's families are Oobs, but still, it's like when people pronounce my last name Villier. Dude, if you're from here, you should pronounce it better. Bingo.
Okay.
Bingo.
Sorry, bud. I mean,
That's disappointing. Andy Ortiz said, I'm not from Louisiana, but had no idea it was pronounced like that. Because he's not from Louisiana. Musso were you born here?
Yes.
Have you lived your whole life here?
Yes.
Yes. I got two people here. Born here. All right, this is our poll question. I can't.
how are you going to word that?
I could do it easily, but the problem is you're going to have people who aren't from Louisiana voting in the poll question, so it's not going to be representative. That's the tough part. That's why I need only Louisiana people to vote in this, and there's no way to limit a poll question only to Louisiana. I mean, you could say if you're not from Louisiana, don't vote, but there's going to be jacklegs who just vote anyway. There's jacklegs on Twitter who vote to the contrary just to be different.
Well, that's Twitter, yeah.
I know, which is why it's a problem. But shout out to Citizens Bank for sponsoring the poll question. Holger Heap, like Louvre. Yep. Greg Lehman said, hey, I'll be your friend.
Hey, look at that.
No thanks, Greg. I'm not interested.
See, I know how to pronounce Louvre. I I know that one.
You know the interesting part about that?
What's up?
I intentionally mispronounce Greg Lehman's name every time. Like he's phonetically spelled it for me before. It's Leman. It's Lehman. And I just say Greg Lehman every time just on purpose. All right, let's talk to this guy. Hey, who are you? Do you want to be my friend?
Hello.
Hey. What's your name?
Jason.
Hey, Jason, do you want to be friends?
Sure.
Oh, all right. I got another one. Hey, do you know how to pronounce Oubre?
Yeah, it's Oob.
Thank you.
And I'm from North Louisiana, where they don't have French names, and even I know that.
But Jason, it doesn't even matter if you're from North Louisiana. By the way, Hester will be very proud of this. It's still Louisiana, and I get it that South Louisiana is culturally different from the rest of all of the deep South. But you're still from Louisiana. You've still spent time in Baton Rouge or wherever, and you just understand that like there are people here named Oob. Do you know how to spell Boudreaux and Thibodeau and just a lot of other French sort of indigenous names, right?
Correct. My wife's from Napoleonville. So
Sit there. Thank you. Bingo. Yeah. Thank you. We are all connected in the great circle of life. Thank you, Jason. Jason and Greg are my new friends. How about that, Muse? I made friends today. You didn't. You made enemies. That's what you did.
I do not care.
How about this? Muso's ability to pronounce Louisiana names, overrated.
Off of one?
Yes, because that's one you should absolutely get. There was something that you tweeted, though, yesterday or a couple days ago where you said something was overrated or something like that.
No. I said Boomer and the fastest 3 minutes
that's right.
is forever underrated.
By the way, I almost quote tweeted you to reply to say, let's talk about that on Wednesday because you were dead wrong.
Whoa.
You were dead wrong.
What? That's offensive. And you're how? Boomer's fantastic. The fastest 3 minutes is exhilarating. It's really the only time, unless you watch NFL primetime, you still get to see the guy. He's iconic. And he throws in all the catchphrases. It's great. I love it. The NFL primetime music, it's great.
Which is why it's properly rated, because everybody loves the fastest 3 minutes. You get an entire NFL weekend in 3 minutes. There's nobody that dislikes the fastest 3 minutes.
Somehow it's still underrated.
No, it's not. If it is properly rated. If nobody dislikes it, then it is properly rated. It is the fastest 3 minutes has existed for my whole life. I mean, it's got to be beyond 30 years that they've been doing the fastest 3 minutes. Look that up, please. How long has Boomer been doing the fastest 3 minutes? If you are doing something that has continued to exist at scale for more than 3 decades, you are good at what you do, and people really enjoy it. Otherwise, they would have canned it long ago. Like Ryan's Wise, the segment we did here that lasted about 2 weeks, and we're like, we thought this might be a good idea. It's not a good idea, and so we canned it, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
Do you have anything over there in fastest 3 minutes?
I'm looking.
Yes. Fastest 3 minutes is wonderful, but it's not underrated. If it were underrated, it would have been where they canned it after a year, and you're like, bring it back.
Let's see. It was a staple on Sunday Night Football for 19 years when
ESPN had Sunday Night Football,
and
then they lost
got
it.
Monday Night Football in 2006. They moved it to there.
Well, they had Monday Night Football. It was just on ABC.
Right,
yes.
correct, yes. But, I mean, at least since 87 is what I'm seeing here.
Yeah. So 35 years.
Well, look, I mean,
35. So they have been running the fastest 3 minutes for 35 years. That is not in any way underrated. That is properly rated.
It doesn't.
We've got to go. It's 4:48. We're late. Muse has to do Tigers in the Pros, so we can purposely eliminate Catholic High guys who have amazing nights. But that's coming up next because it's about time. And I hope someone named Oob is in there as well.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org for the Baton Rouge General Hospital, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network. You know where to find them there at brgeneral.org. Hey, October, as you I'm sure well know, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So to all of our ladies who are listening, shout out to all of you. Of course, you don't need me to remind you, but here is your reminder anyway. As the Baton Rouge General says, protect your pumpkins and get that mammogram. Men, make sure you encourage the ladies in your life to do this if they are not 40 and over. Got to go get that annual mammogram. It saves lives. Nearly 300,000 women annually are diagnosed with breast cancer. That's 1 in 8 women in our country. Listen, it's just so important. Both my mom and my aunt are breast cancer survivors, and the key there for both was early detection. Early detection saves lives. Know your risks. Protect your pumpkins. brgeneral.org. Again, brgeneral.org.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah! Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime. Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% with 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
By the way, Andy Ortiz said, thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. De nada. Brian Chandler, it's pronounced boob minus the first B. Chris Broussard, oob is in boob. This is what happens when men start, you leave men to their own devices. The collective IQ just completely disintegrates. That's why we need women in the world. Because women make us all smarter, cleaner, more salient individuals, right? You get a room full of guys, we all just devolve into Neanderthals. A woman walks into the room, we all perk up and we're on our best behavior. We clean up our language, we put on deodorant, we shave, right? It's incredible.
Yeah, but unless you hear her curse too, then it's just boom, let's go.
It's so good too.
I love it.
All right, Muse, don't screw up Tigers in the pros.
That's asking a lot, Matt.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Tre'Davious White is set to return to practice today for the Buffalo Bills. Sean McDermott announced that at his Wednesday press conference. Of course, Trey White, recovering from that torn ACL, has not practiced or played this season. He will not play in the Week 6 matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. Alex Bregman last night, boy, a huge homer in the 8th inning to bring the Astros within 2 runs. His only hit on the night, but first postseason homer of the year, 2 RBI and a run scored. Austin Nola last night for the San Diego Padres, 1 for 2 at the bottom of the order with an RBI in that one. The Padres fell 5-3 to the Dodgers. They trail that series at 1-0. And, of course, in NBA preseason basketball, Trenton Watford contributed a couple points last night for the Trailblazers in 8 minutes of play. Added a rebound. Matt, the Tigers and Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Online at lmfj.com. Muse will never marry anyone with the last name Oob. So he will not buy that person a ring from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. But someday he will get married. And he'll buy a ring from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Just not to someone named Oob. Oob. Hour 3 next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. You'll know where to find them online, Michelli.com, or in any of their 29 offices across 11 different states. They do offer ISO 17025 accreditation. They have they service all scale and measurement equipment makes and models. I always encourage you to go to the website because most people will think of Michelli as scales because they are our nation's largest distributor of scales. But they go to the website and they say, I didn't realize you did that. Installations, calibrations, repairs, preventative maintenance for all of your calibration, scales, measurement equipment. It's at Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Online at Michelli.com. Calibration, preventative maintenance for weighing systems. They do installation, equipment repair on site if need be. Also inspections and certificates. It's all there for you at Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Online at Michelli.com. That's Michelli.com.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah! ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance. This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The start of Game 2 of the NLDS between the Phillies and Braves delayed by rain. Major League Baseball will determine whether the game will be played today. NFL. Raiders star receiver Devonte Adams has been charged with misdemeanor assault for shoving a credentialed media worker after the loss to the Chiefs Monday. Adams apologized after the incident, which left the man with whiplash and a headache. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, progressing through concussion protocol, returned to practice today for coach Mike McDaniel.
That's exciting for everybody just because, really, we just miss his personality. When talking about this week and playing, I don't see him being active. I do not plan to have him play. This whole process is a little tricky, and today he's just getting back to playing football for the first time in 2 weeks.
With Tua and Teddy Bridgewater in concussion protocol, Miami rookie QB Skylar Thompson will start Sunday against the Vikings. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott expected to miss Sunday's game against the Eagles as he continues to recover from thumb surgery. Dallas is preparing for Cooper Rush to start in his place for a 5th consecutive game.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's a hump day.
Hump day.
A day in which we learn Matthew Muso ain't really Louisiana.
It's hump day.
You ain't really Louisiana, Muse.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Your opinion?
Neither are you. Day. Neither are you, Paulie. You ain't Louisiana.
It's hump day.
You two have nothing to say for yourselves.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You should be embarrassed.
Hump day.
Humiliated.
It's hump day.
Admonished.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Embarrassed.
Hump day.
I said that.
It's hump day.
Chastised.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Degraded.
Hump day.
We've been that.
I can't hear you. You are speaking too low and the music is too loud. I can't hear you.
I said, I think we've been that. That's in Chaz time.
Yes.
It's hump day.
All right, we'll see if Russ Mitchell joins us in 10 minutes. I have no idea.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
He's usually with us. He didn't answer the phone. We texted him earlier to see if he'd come on, and he hadn't come on. So, all right, let's roll through it. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Muse and Paulie don't know how to say the name Oob. I'm stunned by that. O-U-B-R-E, Oob. I can't believe it. It's a very common name in this state. I'm just stunned. It really caught me off guard. I went to go use the bathroom. I walked back in. Muse was doing a promo read. A guy named Alex Oob. There was a Michael Oob who texted me as well. And Muse couldn't pronounce Oob. I was just stunned by it. Just really, really caught me off guard. And it essentially ended up just hijacking the last 20 minutes of the show. All right. We'll see if we can get to Russ in about 10 minutes. He's with us usually with us every Wednesday. He's been very hit or miss, and he is not confirmed with me for today. So we'll try to hit him up in about 10 minutes, see if we can talk about the weekend ahead in the Southeastern Conference. The New Orleans Saints, look, the running back situation has certainly been tricky this year. Kamara's missed a couple of games because of injury, and you had brought in Latavius Murray, who played really well in London.
Murray, present.
And then was, as you know, promptly signed off the practice squad by the Denver Broncos to their active roster. And then the Saints waived Tony Jones Jr., and he was claimed off of waivers by Seattle. So Saints are really thin on running back numbers. So on Wednesday, today, they brought in a few backs for workouts, and among them were A.J. Rose, Antonio Williams, Jordan Wilkins, and Jordan Howard. Howard was interesting because he's a guy that they actually brought in July for a workout whenever they were kind of keeping up with the roster. We talked about running back so much this offseason, all throughout free agency and the draft. When we looked at the draft, really thought the Saints might take an opportunity to draft a running back, but the Saints did what they often do, which is move up, so they lost the volume of draft capital and didn't have the opportunity to select a running back. And so they kind of meandered through the offseason. We know that they made a play at some veteran free agent running backs, and weren't able to get a deal done. Most notably, Sony Michel, who's a guy they wanted to sign but chose to sign in Miami. And it didn't work out for the Saints to sign some of the free agents that they had talked about. Tariq Cohen was a guy that we talked about, and then he had the unfortunate Achilles injury while working out. And it went that way for New Orleans. So they were just really thin at that spot. And then we know what happened there. They signed Latavius Murray. And
Murray, present.
And what's happened here. But one of the reasons you bring guys in for workouts is to keep an updated scouting report on that player. Even if you don't intend maybe to sign the player there, you have an updated workout scouting report on him, so you know if you get down a player at a certain position during the season, you know who you can call and feel confident or comfortable about. And so having had Jordan Howard here in July, probably gave the Saints some confidence with what they were getting with a player who's now in his 7th year in the NFL. And Nick Underhill, while nothing official from the Saints, Nick Underhill did tweet earlier today that the Saints have signed running back Jordan Howard to the practice squad. He notes Howard appeared in 7 games for the Eagles last season, averaging 4.7 yards per attempt on 86 carries. A need there after losing Latavius Murray and Tony Jones Jr. Again, that's
Murray, present.
Nick Underhill on Twitter. So the Saints add Jordan Howard, and I like this. I like it a lot. A couple of reasons. Number one, when we talk about guys like Murray and Ingram, they're both over 30 years old. I mean, Latavius Murray is a 32-year-old running back.
Murray, present.
And while he had fresh legs and ran really well against the Vikings in London, the very fair question to ask was if that performance was a result of having fresh legs. And as a 32-year-old back, the more run he got during the year, might he wane? I mean, that would have been a very fair question to ask. With Jordan Howard, you're talking about a guy that's 27. And we often talk about running backs and their shelf life in the NFL, and it's usually when they hit the age of 30, right? I mean, that's just generally what we say. Jordan Howard's only 27 years old. He was drafted out of Indiana back in 2016 in the 5th round. And he went to the Bears, and he started his career with back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. And actually, in his 3rd year, he was just shy. He was actually 65 yards shy of 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons to open his career. He rushed for 1,300 yards as a rookie, 1,100 yards as a second-year player, then 935 in his 3rd year. But keep in mind, that was also coinciding with the Bears bringing in Tariq Cohen, who had a very nice start to his career. So at that point, the Bears saw Howard as expendable. They ended up trading him to Philadelphia, where he didn't really produce very much. He played in 10 games in 2019. He ended up going to Miami to start the 2020 season. They waived him after just 5 games. He re-signed with Philly, where he was for the balance of 2020, and then last season where he played 7 games. So you're talking about a guy that in his first 3 seasons in the league played in 47 games. And in the 4 subsequent years, he's played in 10, 5, 2, and 7. That's 24 games. He's played in only 24 games over the past 4 seasons. So it's a 27-year-old guy who still has a lot of tread on the tires. So you want to talk about a young guy with fresh legs, he fits the mold. And I would tell you this, the other problem, the other gigantic problem that Saints running backs have had this year, all of them, by the way, have had this year, is fumbling. It's holding on to the football. Over the course of his career, through the previous 6 seasons, he's fumbled 6 times total and lost 3. He's lost 3 fumbles in 6 years. More than 1,000 attempts, he's fumbled 6 times. I like that a lot. Ball security needs to be paramount for this team. And to be clear, they've signed Jordan Howard to the practice squad. So there's no guarantee he's going to be elevated to play in a game. We'll see if that becomes a necessity at some point. But you have to have some option here, because what you have is Alvin Kamara, who's been battling a rib injury, was really good this past week, but's already missed a couple of games this year. Mark Ingram, who looks like a shell of what he once maybe you thought he could have been, but has just not been a productive player for this team this year. And has had costly fumbles as well, most notably at the 10-yard line going in to score against Tampa Bay in a game that got away from you after that fumble. So you will probably at some point this year need the services of a veteran running back like Jordan Howard, and I like that option because that's a guy who we've seen do it on Sundays, unlike Tony Jones Jr., who we've seen do it in the preseason and been real optimistic about, but when he got his chance on Sundays, he just didn't perform. And you could talk about a guy like Dwayne Washington, who's primarily been a special teams guy, as we know, but I like this a lot. I don't want to overstate it. I'm not trying to tell you that signing a running back to the practice squad is the missing link for the Saints to win a Super Bowl, but at a position where, like, we have all, and I'm not just talking about us here on this show, I mean, everyone who follows and covers the New Orleans Saints has talked about this since the draft, the need for the Saints to add running back. Didn't happen during the draft, didn't happen during free agency, happened out of necessity when you added Murray, and with injuries with Kamara. I mean, we all know now what the issue is at running back, and you need bodies. This is a good option. This is a good option of a veteran guy who's still young, who's got a lot of tread on the tires, who protects the football, and has been a productive back, rushing for over 200 carries in a season 3 times, and he's been a 1,000-yard rusher twice, and just missed 1,000 yards by 65 yards in year 3. So Saints add Jordan Howard, running back, you would know primarily from his time with the Bears, and of course the Eagles more recently, but a guy who has been a good player during his career and is still a young guy in year 7. But we'll see if they need him. My odds are is that they will, just considering how that position is gone already this year. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com. You know where to find them at the Williamson Eye Center with 7 locations across South Louisiana, really in the greater Baton Rouge area. When you look at Baton Rouge, 2 locations in Baton Rouge. Gonzales, Denham, New Roads, Zachary. Their newest location in the river parishes down in Lutcher. It's the Williamson Eye Center. If it's eye care, eyewear, or eye surgery, Williamson Eye Center, they do it all. They can do a family eye exam. You can buy your glasses at their optical shops. Or, of course, if you need that refractive procedure, if you're thinking about LASIK, maybe you're not a candidate for LASIK, it's something else. They have an option for you no matter your age or your refractive issue. Do what I did. I trusted Dr. Blake Williamson. I sat in that surgical chair and I let that man perform LASIK on me. And I'm thrilled, and I would highly recommend you do the exact same thing. So Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com. All right, it is After Further Review. I hope we're going to talk to Russ Mitchell when we come back. If you missed big news from the LSU teleconference earlier today with Brian Kelly announcing that Will Campbell has been cleared fully. He did practice with the team on Tuesday, expected to practice with the team today on Wednesday, and be available to start in Florida on Saturday, which is massive news because it stabilizes LSU's offensive line, which has been really a pillar of instability throughout the course of this season. But getting Will Campbell back makes you nearly whole as you go to Gainesville this weekend. So great news that Will Campbell's healthy and he'll be available to start for LSU Saturday in Gainesville. All right, it's after further review. We'll see if Russ Mitchell answers the phone next. It's AFR.
AFR.
And I love telling you about Pluckers. Of course, Hump Day is trivia night at Pluckers, both locations, Nicholson and Bluebonnet. Nicholson, 8 o'clock. Bluebonnet, 7:30. Probably should have said that the other way to go chronologically. So Bluebonnet, 7:30. Nicholson, 8 o'clock. Live action trivia. Remember, every team, and you can have as many players on your team as you want, every team will have the opportunity to spin the prize wheel. So even if you don't win a round, every team wins something. It could be food from Pluckers or gift cards or other swag and items from great businesses around the Baton Rouge area. Every Wednesday, trivia night at Pluckers, so it's a great opportunity to get by. Sample 28 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings. Drink ice-cold draft beer. Watch sports on TV. You got the Major League Baseball postseason churning through tonight. What better place to watch than at Pluckers? Also, great place to watch all your college football on Saturday and your NFL on Sunday. It's at Pluckers. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. Tonight is trivia night at Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Hey, Muse.
What's up?
Did our guy answer the phone?
He did not. No. He also doesn't have his voicemail set up either.
Yes, he does. But when you call Russ and he doesn't answer, it's like a personalized message. It says, like, "Hi, Matt. Russ can't answer the phone right now. Leave a message and he'll call you back." So because you called from a number that isn't saved in his phone, it's why it's
pretty weird.
Yeah. I kind of think we need to make an executive decision here. You know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Maybe not an executive decision, but we could ask, we can make it collectively here. As I say often, I don't do the show for me, I do the show for you. Otherwise, I'm just a guy in a room talking to myself. I'd like to talk more baseball and MMA, but that's not really going to move the needle during the middle of football season. But I love football, but that's why we're talking. Russ has been a staple on this show since 2012. And so if we was counted the preseason preview when he picked LSU 4-7.
4-8.
I'm sorry, 4-8, thank you. To now, after that, he's only been on one other time or two?
Two. He was on before Auburn and then before Tennessee. That's it.
So after we missed him for a solid month, he was on twice, and now we missed him again. Yeah, if you're going to do a weekly hit, man, you got to be reliable. You know what I mean? Like, I got to know you're there. I mean, I know it's a lot to ask, but we've done this for a long time now, and people look forward to it. And I kind of feel like we just have to say, hey, look, we'll catch you when we catch you, but we can't continue to. I don't know. What do you think?
Spin the tires. Yeah. I get it. I mean, it kind of leaves a hole there, man. At 5:15, and has for a month or so now.
Greg Lehman said to a freak jury about Russ. You know what, Muse? What the hell? Dial it up. Let's do it.
I gotta get the music again.
We'll do a freak jury. Should Russ Mitchell be canceled? I love Russ dearly. He is a close personal friend and has been for a lot of years. Last year, when LSU played UCLA in the Rose Bowl, Russ brought his wife and his daughter there. I flew out. We spent a lot of time together. We sat at the game together, went to dinner together. Like, we had a great time. If you have it, yes, fire away, please.
Yeah, but, it's coming.
Russ is a dear friend, and you need to record that and have it saved.
I know I used to.
Yeah. Well, it didn't really help us now.
So
yeah. I love Russ, dear friend. But I don't know how many more times, during football season, the 5 o'clock hour, I can have this happen where we're expecting to talk college football with Russ Mitchell of College Football News and talk about the SEC, and then this is, 5 times in the last 7 weeks. That's not a good ratio.
No.
I mean, if you're 2 for 7 in a baseball game, not bad.
Decent.
Yeah.
But this isn't baseball.
This isn't that.
No, this is radio.
So here's the question. 499-1045. Do we cancel Russ Mitchell? 499-1045. You kicking tires, lighting fires. It's been a staple for so long, but is it time just to retire it? 499-1045. It's easy. You just say yes or no. Should we cancel Russ Mitchell? All right. Should we cancel Russ Mitchell?
No.
Okay. Are you keeping the tally?
Yeah, I'm keeping it.
All right. What do you think? Should we cancel Russ Mitchell?
No.
Okay. How about you? What do you think? Should we cancel Russ?
Yep.
I wonder if these are votes based on if people enjoy Russ's commentary.
Yeah.
And not so much just on whether or not so much just on whether or not they think he should be canceled for not showing up. What do you think? Should we cancel Russ Mitchell?
No.
Okay. I'm a little encouraged by this, actually.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
They're willing to give him a chance. It also goes to show the popularity of the segment.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, since 2012.
It's been a long time. It's been a decade.
Kind of. I mean, it's only been 3 times this year.
What do you think? Should we cancel Russ? Okay, not there. What do you think? Should we cancel Russ Mitchell?
Yeah.
Feels like we're pulling even.
It's 3-2 right now with the nose. Nose still have it, but it's.
What do you think? Should we cancel Russ?
Yes.
That's a tie right there.
What do you think? Should we cancel Russ?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
What do you think? Should we cancel Russ?
Yeah, boy.
Doesn't count.
What do you think? Should we cancel Russ?
Yes.
Oh.
It's becoming a landslide, Matt.
Even with the fake guy that didn't count? Or did you not count him?
I didn't count him. He didn't. I don't
where
know what he
are we?
said.
Where are we in the vote?
It's 5-3, yes.
Should we cancel Russ Mitchell?
Happy birthday.
I think he was trying to give a happy birthday. See, the thing is, they think they're going to be able to fit it in. It's never going to work for you. Like the way that this is set up with my finger on the trigger, if I hear anything other than yeah or no, you're getting hung up on.
And now you have to text that person happy birthday like a normal person.
It's so stupid. What do you think? Should we cancel Russ Mitchell?
Yes.
Doubled up.
Should we cancel Russ Mitchell?
Yes.
Russ Mitchell, 5 out of 7 weeks. I think this. You know what this is? I think this is a lot of people pissed off at him for picking LSU 4-8.
It could be.
A couple more. What do you think? Should we cancel Russ?
No.
Well, okay.
All right. All right. Wait a minute.
So Russ's fan. Stand up, Russ Mitchell fans. What do you think? Should we cancel Russ?
Absolutely.
That doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. If it's not a yes or no, it doesn't count. What do you think? Should we cancel Russ Mitchell?
Yes.
Comeback looks grim right now.
That was the Braves homer yesterday. There's still a great 3-run homer. There's still 2 out in the 9th. It ain't gonna work for you. Sorry. Okay, just a few more. What do you think? Should we cancel Russ Mitchell?
No.
All right.
What do you think? Should we cancel Russ Mitchell?
No.
What do you think? Should we cancel Russ Mitchell?
Hey.
And Muse let the music end again. So we have an ad now.
Just for a moment. How about was that a yes or a no from the little one there?
It doesn't count. I don't know.
Oh.
What do you think? Should we cancel Russ Mitchell? Yes or no?
No.
You know what? Since we have no music, I'm calling it. What's the score right now? All right. Well, there's one more then since the music is back.
This could be
yes
huge.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Should we cancel Russ Mitchell?
No.
Oh, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going.
Did that tie it?
We tied it. It's 8-8. Extra innings. Here we go.
No. You know what that means?
What?
He is the perfect radio guest.
Okay.
Because he is
fair.
perfectly polarizing. Half of the people that called hate him, and half of the people love him.
What a comeback.
How? Boy, it was grim for
It was 8-4 before that happened.
They doubled him up. And then Russ Mitchell's fans stood up. I don't know. I still may cancel him anyway because I got to be able to rely on him to be here. All right. It's after further review. What if we had odds on how that vote was going to go? What if DraftKings could have put out odds on how that vote was going to go? How do you think it would have been, Muse? I mean, you're the guy who did the gambling show.
That's a great question.
Where would you have put the odds on how that
I would have thought that cancel him would have been the favorite, but slight favorite.
Slight favorite?
Like minus 110.
Okay, minus 110. Okay. Well, you can't bet on that at DraftKings, but you can bet on pretty much everything else at DraftKings. There's a college football game tonight. Actually, hopefully, the Otter has a pick on that because I do not want his pick on baseball. Actually, whatever he picks on baseball, I'm just going to fade. Decided long ago when he got back from Del Mar, I wasn't making his baseball picks anymore.
He hit his parlay.
I don't care. He also missed on the Yankees last night. It's not a winning night. So, no, I don't want the Otters' baseball picks anymore. It's not to say a blind squirrel can't find a nut. And Muse, he was spectacular. When he was dialed in to baseball this summer, he was magnificent. I mean, at one point, he won it like an 80% clip. Do you remember that?
Yeah, he was
like, Otter, do you realize like the run you're on? Like, and then he went to Del Mar and he sucked. He lost it. He lost his mojo. I don't want his picks anymore. But what I do want are his football picks because he's been on fire. And there is a college football game tonight involving the University of Louisiana at Lafayette Raging Cajuns at the Thundering Herd of Marshall. So that game is tonight. It is a 10.5-point spread. Hopefully the Otter has a pick, and you can bet on it at DraftKings Sportsbook. Do it right now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. If you're a new customer, remember, use the promo code Baton Rouge. Bet just bet just $5 on any football game. If your team wins, they'll give you $200 in free bets. Also, up to 100%. You can win up to 100% on stepped-up same-game parlays. You can increase your winnings by up to 100% on stepped-up same-game parlays for any customer daily at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Have some fun. Play some games. Watch the Raging Cajuns of the University of Louisiana at Lafayette in Huntington, West Virginia tonight against Marshall at Jones C. Edwards Stadium. And bet on it at the DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus issued as free bets. 1 boost per eligible game. Opt-in required. Parlay and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms. Licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem. Call 1-877-7-0-STOP. All right, so we give you at least some semblance of something related to football in this segment since Russ essentially wasted an entire segment for us. How about Brian Kelly talking about why this is a big game for Jaden Daniels?
You know, obviously it was a disappointing loss, but you can't pin it on Jaden Daniels. I mean, that was a team loss, you know, and everybody was accountable, including the coaches in that loss. So he needs to continue to step forward. I mean, this is a big game for him as well, going on the road, managing our offense in a very difficult environment. We've got to see that progression. We've got to see that improvement again this week as well.
I was a little surprised to hear Brian Kelly say they thought they saw a progression in his aggressiveness. Like he did throw an interception at the end of the game. I mean, it was the last play of the game. You're throwing the ball into the end zone. But there is that progression. But I also think, and this is, by the way, this is going to be a very obvious statement. You're not going to have like this imaginary light bulb go off in your head and go, I haven't thought of anybody thought of that before. The flow of the game dictates clearly how this offense is going to perform. This is not a dynamic enough offense to be able to play from behind against a team like Tennessee. I know what you're going to say, but Matt, they were able to do it against Florida State, Mississippi State, and Auburn. I get it. None of those teams are very good. Tennessee is very, very good, and they continue to put pressure on you, and you spotted them a lead, a big lead, so you weren't able to overcome it. You were against Mississippi State because, and I know people are excited about Mississippi State, but State beat Arkansas last week without K.J. Jefferson. That could have been that would have been a completely different game if you had a healthy K.J. Jefferson playing. I'm not telling you Arkansas would have won the game necessarily, but it would have been a completely different game. For LSU, the flow and tempo and pace of the game has got to go a certain way for them to have an opportunity to win it. And I think you kind of have that opportunity on Saturday against Florida because I don't think either team boat races the other. I don't know that either team is good enough to do that. We've seen Florida already this year struggle. We saw them struggle at home against Missouri last week. Missouri's a bad football team. I mean, Missouri's a team that went on the road to Kansas State and got shellacked. Missouri is an objectively bad football team, and they went toe-to-toe with Florida in the swamp. I hesitate to put too much emphasis on the South Florida game. That was a 31-28 game, but there's always the possibility, and I didn't watch a play of it, but there's always the possibility that you play down in a moment like that. You just have your emotional letdown. That was a week after they lost to Kentucky. But they're capable. Like when they beat Utah, they made the plays late to beat Utah, scored on a fourth down play at the end of the game to win it. So good for them. But I just think that when you look at their final scores, they're not running away from – Florida's not running away from anybody other than Eastern Washington. And quite honestly, neither is LSU other than Southern or New Mexico. So I do think you're going to have a close competitive ballgame, the pacing of which is probably going to benefit a team that protects the football. And that's been Jaden Daniels more than it's bid Anthony Richardson, which is why I think if you want to lean LSU, that's a reason that it would make sense. Okay, quick break. When we come back, I do want to run through the Saints injury report. We mentioned it a couple times. We'll go a little deeper dive into it. Jameis Winston did return to practice today. What does that mean for Sunday? We'll talk about it next on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. So they're closed right now, but it doesn't mean you can't start that process of finding better coverage for less money. Go to the website. I tell you all the time, I give you the number and the website, but go to the website right now. Go to lainsurance.net. lainsurance.net. At the top of the page, you'll see the tab that says Quotes. Just tap that tab, fill out a little bit of information about your current insurance coverage. When they're back in the office, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, they'll get started shopping for you to find you better coverage for less money. There is no catch. There is no fine print. This is not a gimmick. This is what their business is. They're an independent insurance agent. So they're not tied to State Farm, Allstate, Liberty Mutual, those companies, which, look, your local agent may be a wonderful person, but they can only get you rates from that company. Insurance Network of Louisiana shops dozens of the top-rated companies to get you better coverage for less money. 293-0450 or online, lainsurance.net.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
There are 15 players on the New Orleans Saints injury report today? 15. That's nearly a third of your roster. I mean, I have to laugh. What's the old Jimmy Buffett song? If we wouldn't laugh, we'd all go insane. I mean, changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes, isn't it? Yeah. A little Hanny infiltrating the room is what that is.
A freaking banger, too.
Songs you know by heart. Shout out Jimmy Buffett. Saints fan, Jimmy Buffett. 15 New Orleans Saints are on the injury report today. Let's run through those that did not practice. Deontay Hardy, Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas, Chris Olave. It's 4 of your top 5 receivers. Okay, I'm going to stop laughing. Marshawn Lattimore, Peyton Turner, Calvin Throckmorton. Those are your 7 players that did not practice. Receivers, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Deontay Hardy, Chris Olave, Marshawn Lattimore, Peyton Turner, Calvin Throckmorton. 7 that did not practice. Another maybe there were 14 on the injury report. My apologies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 did not practice, and then 1. It's absurd that I have to sit here and count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm sorry, and then 7 that were limited. So 14. Forgive me. 14 players on the injury report for the Saints today. Those that were limited today: Ryan Ramczyk, Paulson Adebo, J.T. Gray, Taysom Hill, Marcus May, Malcolm Roach, and Jameis Winston. The good news there is Alvin Kamara was not on the injury report at all, meaning he was a full participant. He, of course, has missed 2 games. He's been battling that rib injury, but Kamara was a full participant. That's great news. And Taysom's battling the rib as well that we know, so they're taking him along slowly. The biggest news there, clearly, is that Jameis Winston was back and practicing on a limited basis. Now, I want to be very clear. It is fairly common when players are dealing with a serious injury to go out on Wednesday and try to give it a go. They're limited. It's just like, let's see you do a little bit, and then the next day see how you feel. After you do a little bit, wake up tomorrow and see how you feel. And sometimes that's a really good indicator. If you feel good, maybe you do a little bit more the next day. And if not, then you revert and you shut it down. So while it's encouraging that Winston is taking this step, I also want to wait and see if he gives it a go on Thursday as well. It's worth noting that's what they did in London, where he was giving it a go and then decided to shut it down. We saw Andy Dalton start and then start last week as well at home against Seattle. There's 2 main talking points, for me anyway, as it pertains to Jameis. One, I know there's a lot of you that do not want the Saints to proceed with Jameis Winston. I'm not done. I appreciate the feedback. I do. I know, because I feel like I have a pretty good finger on the pulse of where fans stand with Jameis. And a lot of you didn't want him to begin with, and the performance at the start of this year in your mind has validated your opinion of not wanting him. My opinion, as you probably well know, is that I've never been definitive that Jameis is the guy. I've been very adamant that he can potentially be the guy, and the Saints should find that out, because you're talking about a guy at 27 who has number 1 overall potential that in the right system, with the right coaches and the right talent, could potentially maximize that the same way that Drew Brees did when he came to New Orleans. That was the whole concept. Because if you're the Saints and you're looking for your franchise quarterback, you're not going to get it in the draft this year. That's for sure, unless if you strike gold in the middle rounds. Because franchise quarterbacks, nobody trades their franchise quarterback. I mean, Washington, sending Kirk Cousins up to Minnesota is an outlier. And you can say what you want about Kirk Cousins. Is he a quality starter? Absolutely. Is he elite? Will he ever win a championship? I don't think so, but that's to each person to make that determination. But there's 2 points. Number one is specifically with this year. And specifically with this season, I'm going to maintain you do not play Jameis Winston until he is healthy. Not kind of healthy, not healthy enough to play, because when you played the healthy enough to go out there and try to give it a go, Jameis, you saw what you saw against Tampa, and that was a disaster. You saw what you saw against Carolina, and that was a disaster. A healthy Andy Dalton gives you a better chance to win than an injured Jameis Winston. That's not even debatable at this point. Like, I'm not even open to hearing an argument about injured Jameis Winston with a broken back trying to play instead of healthy Andy Dalton. Like, I do not even want to entertain that conversation. Now, I don't get to make the decision, clearly, but I don't even need that conversation in my life. What is a relevant conversation? I know Andy Dalton is not the Saints' future. I know he's not going to be the franchise for the next half decade. Jameis could be. And last year, when he started 5-2, looked like he might be on the way to that. And then he tore his ACL and they shut it down. And so a lot of us are really optimistic about what he could be this year. And in week 1, he breaks his back and then has the ankle injury as well, and he's been limited. And clearly, he's not right. So I'm not going to make a 5-year determination on a guy based on a small sample where he's playing with a broken back. So at some point this year, they need to decide. Now, they got him for 2 years, so it's the rest of this year and next that they could theoretically use that window to decide if they're going to make a long-term commitment to Jameis Winston. But at some point, you got to get him back out on the field to know if you want to make that commitment. So when he's ready, I want Jameis Winston back on the field. It's just not going to be this Sunday for me, because I don't know how you get out there with a broken back after resting for 2 weeks and think you're going to go play in an NFL game. Andy Dalton gives you a better chance to win. And the other point that I'll bring up is after this game, you have the quick turnaround to take on Arizona on Thursday night on the road. This would be the most brutal back-to-back for a quarterback in the season when you have to travel for a Thursday night. So play Andy Dalton on Sunday against Cincinnati. Let Andy Dalton play on the short week against Arizona. That would have given Jameis about a month. Reevaluate him and see if he's good to go. And if he is, play him. And if not, keep playing Andy Dalton until he's ready. But at some point, you got to find out what he is. Because you have to find out if he's the guy you're going to commit to for the next 4 to 6 years. And you won't know that till he plays healthy. But that ain't that guy right now. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out our final break of the show. We'll come back. We'll do some otter locks. And if we have time, we'll get some Pluckers trivia as well. Pluckers trivia tonight at 7:30 at Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock at Nicholson. All right, it is after further review. You got Major League Baseball tonight, and you have a college football game as well. ULL at Marshall. See if the Otters got a pick on that. That's coming up as we wrap up AFR next.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty.
I've told you for years about my experience with Darren James, and now I am letting other people do that just as well. This is a 5-star review that came in at Rate My Agent. Says Darren James is totally professional and attentive to the needs and wishes of his clients. His marketing strategies are exceptional. His experience in our local market allows him to provide his clients valuable guidance. Darren and his team are available for questions and consultation throughout the entire sales process. The sale of our home illustrates the total success of his approach. Darren has earned our strongest recommendation. Another 5-star review for Darren James & Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Buying or selling, commercial or residential. Call the guy on the Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1% of realtors in America. Call Darren James. Get your home sold.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play. with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah! Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25%.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Pluckers. Trivia tonight, 7:30 at Blue Bonnet, 8 o'clock at Nicholson. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and of an incomprehensible, the Ott Father himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. How about that game yesterday?
Which one?
The Astros.
Oh, I thought you meant when the Yankees beat the Guardians in Game 1. Volleyball spike in your pick right back in your nose. That's what I thought you meant. How about that? Take that.
I was talking about history. First time a walk-off, a playoff walk-off with a multiple run deficit.
Yeah, boring. Boring.
You don't want to see the Astros in the ALCS. I promise you that.
No, I don't. I was really, really hoping that they dropped Game 1.
That's been a big one, too, if Seattle could have beat Houston with their number 3 against Verlander, their 8. And Verlander had nothing.
He got rocked.
Absolutely nothing.
Hey, look, I told you, ever since Del Mar, I'm not betting your baseball picks anymore, but I'm really excited about your football picks. I'm hoping you have a college football pick for me tonight with the ULL Raging Cajuns and the Marshall Thundering Herd.
A little bit. What line are you showing right now?
10.5. Marshall favored by 10.5.
Yeah, the ULL, we knew was going to be a drop-off, and, Napier knew that his team last year was really good, and a bunch of people coming back. So that's why he could be selective about the job he took, and he took a good one at Florida. But the ULL and Marshall, look at the numbers, yards per play. ULL is 101 in the country. Marshall is 102. I mean, they are the same on yards per play offense. Yards per play defense, ULL is actually 42 in the country to Marshall 60.
Okay.
So to be a little high, I've looked at the splits also at in basically 2-1 tickets on Marshall minus the points. So taking the points might be a little bit of a consideration here. So,
all right.
I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to focus more on the baseball playoffs, and I do think that the first 5 in Wheeler is a real shot. The Phillies are hot, man. They are stroking the ball right now, and so I think the first 5, he's basically even money in the first 5. So that's a delay. They're still in a rain delay since 4 o'clock. So we'll see if they will get it in tonight, but they will try to. And also on the West Coast, I'm looking for the dog as well. San Diego, I mean, they've got big brother by the Dodgers, all right? But last night, throwing their 4 against their 8, to come back and make it 5-3 may have provided a little bit of much-needed confidence. A little bit of much-needed confidence for San Diego going against Big Brother. So I like the Padres and Yu Darvish. Certainly a capable guy. He's been hot down the stretch as well. I think him making his return to Chavez Rabin. Of course, he started that Game 7 against the Astros in the World Series back when he was the Dodgers. I'm going to take the Padres coming back a big price there.
So Padres and then Phillies first 5.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
And a small play on ULL plus the 10.5 if you want to get involved in the college football action. Where are you tonight, Otter?
Snow, seafood, and steak.
Awesome, man. Awesome. All right. Have a great show. We appreciate you as always, man.
Thank you, Pat. Appreciate it.
All right, Game Time with Jimmy Ott follows us in Baton Rouge. If you're not in Baton Rouge, online at 1045ESPN.com or the Game Time with Jimmy Ott Facebook page. Muse, I know what you learned today.
Oob. Listen to me. Oob.
Paul, I know what you learned today.
Oob.
It's how you pronounce the word oob.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com, 288-8138. Oob. 288-8138. If your name is Oob and you need windows, you should call Relief Windows. Actually, no matter what your name is. I tell you all the time, call Brandon Holly and the gang over at Relief Windows. Great business, better people. A lot of people can sell you windows and doors, siding. Now, they sell the top-of-the-line products, like Geldwin wood windows. I mean, wood windows that come with a lifetime warranty. It's almost unfathomable. But what you're going to get always is exemplary customer service. It's just what Brandon Holly demands from everyone that puts on that Relief Windows logo. And he will never take $1 from you. No down payments. He will never take $1 from you until the work is finished and you are thrilled. ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138 for Relief Windows and online at ReliefWindows.com.
When I was a boy, I spent my days climbing trees, catching fish. Barefoot in the river I walked, listening to crickets, counting stars. This was home. After my stroke, I wondered if I'd make it back to the people and places I love. But I got the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Your card matters. Your home does too.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, we're happy to say that we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corval Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.